Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, the monthly podcast where guest panelists are all Hallmark movie enthusiasts who love to debate, rank, and create definitive top 10 lists of Hallmark movies. It's August, and it's finally time for the Nina Weinman edition, a draft that has been basically 2 years in the making. I'm Lynn Austin, your host, and joining me today as co-host is HMD's legendary letterbox guru, and the creator of her patented Bacca eligibility vetting tool. She does so much behind the scenes to keep HMD running smoothly. And she's a savvy drafter in her own right. I should know. I've gone up against her. It's Kate Bacca. Hi, Kate.
Hi, I really like that new title, Legendary Letterbox Guru. It's nice.
It's such a fabulous resource. You can see the current eligibility lists, the past ones, the final ranked top tens. You can blame the people who rank them because their names are there in all caps and flashing lights. So it's a really great resource when you're looking for movies by a certain all star or on a certain trope. But what I'm really excited about today is that we've got a special treat, right? We have Hallmark writing royalty in the house.
Yeah, it's super cool to have Nina joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me. I'm super excited. This is really fun.
It's going to be really fun to hear your thoughts about all these movies.
It's a deep
I've got a
dive into my
one.
career. I love it. It's just
A big
like
dive.
going down memory lane. It's so fun.
I've got a wine pairing to go with your movies. This is a Napa Sauvignon Blanc to go for Napa Ever After, one of your classic films.
You've just heard her. We are beyond excited to welcome Nina Weinman, the pen behind more than, wow, math is hard, 34 Hallmark movies, and really the undisputed queen of witty banter and swoon-worthy meet-cutes. She's written some of the most beloved rewatchable movies in the Hallmark-verse, from annual must-watch classics like Pumpkin Pie Wars to this year's The Perfect Setting. She's given us autumn bake-offs, ballroom showdowns, even a spooky surprise twist with Haunted Wedding. Her Hallmark journey started back in 2010 with Backyard Wedding. Oh my God, what a total ride that movie is. And she's been serving up happy endings ever since, sometimes with a side of sass, a smoking hot straddle kiss, and catch me if you claws. Her social bio says it all. Writer of Things on Your TV, mother of children with free spirits, drinker of wine that makes it all okay, and Nina Weinman. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts.
Thank you so much.
This is your 15-year anniversary, basically.
I did not even realize that because I sold my first movie in 2009. So I would have technically it would have been last year, but then it aired in 2010. So I
Yeah.
didn't even celebrate. This is my
Yes.
celebration today.
It is like happy
I'll drink
anniversary
to
to
it.
you. Nina's drinking some red wine. I've got the Nina Sangria. You can find the recipe on the Hallmark Movie Drafts Instagram. Nina, I mentioned that Backyard Wedding was your first movie, and listeners, you have got to find this movie. It is not to be missed. You won't find it on Hallmark Plus, but it's there on non-Hallmark streaming services. You don't want to miss it because there are things in this movie that you won't see or hear in Hallmark today. You've got Alicia Witt drunkenly swigging
Growing up.
champagne
Yep.
directly from the bottle. She's throwing up. There's a little bit of a brawl between her ex-husband and her fiance because she's getting married in a couple of days. And I do believe, Nina, it's the first and maybe only time that I have heard the word foreplay in a Hallmark movie. And,
Yeah. You
and
will not
I am
hear it
here for
again,
it.
by the way. This was like three regimes ago.
Mhm.
It was when they were only making, I don't know, maybe they were making like three Christmas movies a year and like four other movies. It was really in the early days of when they started ramping up their production. So I feel like I was so lucky to get in then so that I could become, I was there from the early days of this. I became one of their go-tos. I Married Who is another one that they would never make today. It was just before certain people were at the helm of the network and there was a lot more freedom. Then they really honed in on the brand. And what they're doing now works. I don't even know how they did back then. Like, I don't even know how it was tracked or anything. It was so early.
Well, 15 years, 34 movies later, you've written
It's
so
actually
many
now
tropes.
closer to, I think it's closer to 40 at this point because there's a couple that Well, there's a couple that never got made
Ooh.
that I wrote for them for like various reasons that never got made. And then there's three in development that are in the process. There's one that's in the can that's for Christmas 2025, which I wish I could talk about. But they haven't announced it yet. So I can't really give any specifics, but it's really cute. I watched the rough cut the other night and in love with it. It's so cute.
Oh my God, what a great tease. We can't wait. We can't wait.
Yeah.
It's like your friend Julie Sherman Wolfe. We did her filmography last year. And literally, as soon as the show dropped, she had more movies that were coming out. I mean, it's just crazy. It's so prolific. Is there a trope that you haven't written about, a typical rom-com trope that you haven't written about for Hallmark that you might like to do? Like
I
maybe
don't
a fake
know.
relationship, my
I've
favorite
done
trope.
a fake relationship. We've all done the fake fiance. One thing I haven't done, I did start it and then I got taken off of it last year because they needed me on a rush to do the new Mrs. Miracle. I was the first writer on it, ended up being called Royal-ish, and I wrote the outline. And then Tracy Andreen came on and wrote the script because they weren't going to make Mrs. Miracle for last year, and then something fell out and they needed it. So I had to, on a rush, get that done and get it into production. Except for that, which I never got to go to the finish line on it. I've never done a royal.
No,
Wow.
you should do it.
I
That was
know.
the Andrew
I know. I
Walker
was
one, I
excited to
believe,
do
right?
that
Yeah.
one, but I couldn't do both at the same time on that timeline. It was just too hard. It's sometimes these things
Yeah.
happen really fast.
And I'm so glad you mentioned Tracy Andreen because we have a Tracy Andreen draft coming up in 2026. She's awesome. And I know you and she and Julie are good friends. So hopefully
Yeah,
I'm
they're
gonna
my
have you
work
guys
wives. Yeah.
gonna have you guys back as panelists to draft like a top 10 list of Hallmark movies that feature authors and writers as a lead
Yeah,
character. And you're
they
like
would be so game for that, and I'm
it'd be so
in.
much
That sounds
fun.
like a lot
So
of
much fun.
fun.
I mentioned that straddle kiss in
Yes.
Catch Me If You Clause. When you're writing these kissing scenes or these meet cutes, do you write them with like particular actors in mind, or is it more of a mood or a feeling? And did you write that as a straddle kiss, or was that
That was
them?
as big a shock to me as it was to everybody else when I watched the rough cut. I was like, "Ooh, whew." It was a scene where they're in a car making out to hide. It was written like that. Like they start kissing so that the people looking for them pass them right by, like, oh, just a couple. I mean, maybe it said in the script, oh, just a couple horny teenagers or something like that in the stage direction. Just that's for the director and everybody to know was going on. But no, I was like, I said to our producer, Michael Barbuto, I was like, Michael, like you went there. I was surprised they let him go there.
Fabulous. It was really
That movie,
fabulous.
I didn't get to watch it. Normally, I would watch like dailies and follow along, but that movie shot during the strike. I was not allowed to have anything to do with it. The writing was done, but for during production, like I wasn't allowed. If I went to set, if I did anything, it was just risky that they would think that I was performing writing services, and I don't want to get kicked out of my union.
Yeah.
So I was not able to watch it. The strike ended right as the cut was coming in. So I was like, yeah, I get to give notes on the cut. But I was like, woo. That was
So many
amazing.
of your movies have these great ensemble casts. Like you're not just writing well-rounded lead characters, you've got really well-rounded supporting characters as well. So I was wondering, in A Carol for Two, there's Alex's cousin Brad who falls
Yeah.
for Violet, and
Mhm.
the actor who plays him, he's chewing the scenery in every scene that he's in. He kind of steals the show. Have you ever had
Yeah.
a side character that you thought, maybe I should write a movie around this character next time?
Um, Everything that Maddie Finocchio does. I don't know if you guys know who Maddie Finocchio
The
is, but
best.
everything that Maddie Finocchio does, I'm like, I want to write every word for this guy to say. He is so brilliant. Like, no matter what you put on the page, he takes it and just boo to the like, he's so brilliant.
So Nina and Kate can back me up on this because she's seen it. My notes say There's actor Matty Finocchio, who's always a side character. Somebody needs to write him as a leading rom-com role, like The Wingman Wins or something. Yeah, we would
I
all love
love
it.
that
He's so
idea.
great.
I
He's
love that
so
idea.
great.
I might take that idea and run with it
You
and call
should, little
Maddie.
wingman win, just yeah. So you're hanging out with us for the whole show. You're going to do
Yeah,
the trivia round in a couple of minutes with the trivia questions that Kate came up with that all relate to your movies. You're going to be commenting on the panelists' picks, sharing some behind the scenes stuff. You came up with your personal top 10 list
I
that you've
did.
shared with Kate
Yep.
and I. How was it for you to try to get your 34 down to 10?
Oh my gosh. There were a couple that I was able to go, nope, those aren't anywhere near the top 10. Eliminating a few of them, I was like, okay, there were a few that were easy, but there were two specifically that I kept putting on and taking off and putting, like, I couldn't. I wish I had a top 12 because it was so hard. And in picking the favorite movies, it's not always because it's the best movie I've ever seen or the best movie I've ever written, but sometimes it's about the experience was so amazing. The experience of making it, the experience of developing it, the people that I worked with. Sometimes it's that puts a movie so close to my heart. It was really hard to choose between all of my babies because even the ones that were easy to say, no, that one doesn't make the cut, they're still my babies. And I still put my heart and soul into every single movie. Sometimes some turn out better than others. Sometimes it's me and I watch it and I go, yeah, I could have done better. And sometimes it's time. And sometimes it's not me, but it's just sometimes all the elements just don't fall into place. Um, so it's hard to pick between your babies.
But you did it.
I
I've
did
seen
it.
the list. You
I did
really
it,
did
but
it. You did a good job.
there's two that I feel like I betrayed them.
All right,
So
you're gonna have to tell us
I'll tell you which ones.
when we reveal our personal list. All right,
And I'm
so
fairly certain there's one. I was listening to Julie Sherman Wolf's podcast, and I heard Dan say there's one that just absolutely cannot make it on this list. There's no way this one makes it on this list. And I'm fairly certain Dan has one of those of mine and I think I know what it is.
oh my God,
Oh,
he's holding up three fingers. Dan.
I mean, listen, I have a couple too that I'm like, yeah, no. But I'm
Oh my
pretty sure I know
gosh.
one of them.
You can just hold up one finger for Dan if you like, that's okay.
It's okay. I know Dan's a good sport. It's all in fun. I
He's
take I
great.
take no offense, by the way. Let me just tell you, everybody's got an opinion. I can't please everyone. I know that. I'm so lucky I get to do what I love to do. You love it, you hate it. I still get to do it. So I'm fine with that. I don't take offense.
No, everybody here is really straightforward. And actually, listeners, full disclosure, Nina, you actually are friends with Dan. You've known Dan for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
So when did you first meet him?
I think we just started like DMing over like certain things that on Twitter maybe.
That sounds
Ah,
right. I feel
And
like
then
you
like
started to
for
like you would
years.
listen to the episodes and then you'd text and we text after your movies usually because
Yeah.
you love to hear like so sometimes you're like you're right. I wanted to do this and they wouldn't let me. But yeah, it's just so, like every year when you write a movie with your three movies, we end up talking at some point.
Yeah, I remember getting a text from Dan just out of the blue, like, I just watched your movie, hadn't aired yet. I just watched your movie and oh my God, I'm blown away. And when I get something like that, I go, oh, this is a good one. If Dan texts me and
Don't
says,
tell them
write
that movie.
something,
That's my number one
is
movie,
it?
Nina, and
Okay.
it's going to be a fight. So don't tell them what it is. That's my number
Okay.
one.
all
I'm
right, Nina,
excited to
you
hear it.
can you can sit back and
Oh,
relax for just
I'm
a few minutes. I'm
sweating now.
gonna, yeah, you're
Oh,
like,
I'm
have
sweating.
another drink of wine. It'll get faster and easier, trust me. I'll introduce the rest of the panelists. And actually, you've already heard from one of them. He was on the very first HMD show back in 2022. He joins us 2 or 3 times a year just to unleash, quite frankly. He loves to debate. He's the very first player to win the HMD Tournament of Champions. He's got the trophy to prove it. He's the host of several Bramble Jam Network podcasts, including, of course, the much loved Deck the Hallmark podcast. He's my friend, but he's also everyone's Hallmark daddy, but not in an awkward way. It's Daniel Thompson, aka Dan. Sarah's dying over here. Dan, welcome back for the seventh time.
Seventh time. Oh my God. I'm so happy to be here. I look forward to these. I hate that you have to schedule me so far in advance just because kids and bedtime and stuff. But every time we do this, I always, once I finish the last movie, which happened today about 3 o'clock, by the way, I get very, very like wound up about me being right and everyone else being wrong on an opinion of a movie, which is so silly. But I love this show so much, Lynn, and I love being on it. Thanks for having me.
We love you. You're just the best, and you're such a good guy, such a great guy. So listen, aside from the all of the movie related podcasts that you do, you also co-host the History and Pop Culture Quiz Show, Who, What, When for South Carolina Public Radio. I'm a former PBS television employee, so I can't imagine that they even know what hit them when you and Bran showed up on the scene. But you also just started your own podcast called Breakfast in Hell back in April. How is that going?
It's going amazing, and I appreciate you bringing it up. I get to talk all day long, which is all I've ever really wanted to do, and we get to talk movies, which I minored in film, and that's awesome. And I get to do history, which I taught history for South Carolina Public Radio. And I grew up steeped in faith. My dad was a pastor, my mom went to seminary, my brother's a pastor, and they're all wonderful people. And growing up and then kind of taking my own path, you meet a lot of people along the way that struggle with their childhood faith for whatever reason. And maybe they left, maybe they stayed with it, maybe they left and came back, maybe they have a new thing. But the one commonality there was everyone wants to talk about that and they're scared to. They're scared to talk about it with their parents. They're scared to talk about it with their siblings. They're scared to talk about it with people that are still invested in a way they may or may not be invested. And so Breakfast in Hell is a podcast that's a one-on-one interview. And basically I just interview someone about their faith journey. So they tell me about how they grew up and in their faith tradition, what that was like, what normal looked like, what was a turning point for them where they were like, hey, I don't know if this is for me or I don't know if this makes sense. And then what they're doing now. It has been so incredibly rewarding. It has been so much fun. And I think it's been therapeutic for me. It's helped me along the way in my faith journey. There's something about just verbalizing something that I think is so important. I'm pretty overwhelmed hearing that it's helping other people. So it's a real passion project that I've been thinking about for a couple of years. And I finally said, you know what? You may as well just do the thing. And so it's been very, very rewarding. And I'm thrilled I get to do it every week.
I love it. I've listened to every single episode. I think I've messaged you after every episode. I've learned so much, the personal stories that are shared, and you can really tell that you are dialed in and you are focused on your guest and really talking and bonding with them about their journey because they're all different. They've all got different backgrounds, different experiences, different perspectives. So it's really, I think it's one of the best 40 minutes in podcasting typically, right? 45
Yeah.
minutes or so
It's
that you do.
sometimes an hour depending on the guest, but yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
that. I'll take 40
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I'm glad that you used the phrase passion project because that's what Hallmark Movies Drafts is for me. And I feel very blessed to have a whole team of passionate volunteers, all women who help get this show on the air every single month. It's so much work. When you hear that shout out at the end of every show, that's the team that's making it happen. So great, Dan. All right. So I already know that you're friends with Nina. I already know you guys are messaging back and forth. Was it hard for you to get your top 10? Because usually you bang right through them.
This is a wild draft, and this will be a theme, I think, throughout it. I do feel very strongly about my top four. Nina doesn't have to say this because she's worked well for everyone that's ever led the network. But there was about a decade where it was hard to make a good movie on Hallmark. She has four movies. She has a lot of movies that have her specific touch on there. My top four, I think, are like I would give a thumbs up to as a film. The other thing about Nina that's so interesting, and the reason I think this draft is going to be way different than a lot of them is that we usually have some agreements on the majority of the list. It's a matter of where we want to put them. I think, Nina has a distinct style of writing and the banter is witty and it's quick. And what happens when you watch, when I had to watch her filmography is sometimes Hallmark is clearly fighting against it. And sometimes the actors are fighting against it. And sometimes she's got the actors in her script going and Hallmark's going, and sometimes all three are together. And for me, even when the premise is silly, or sometimes the premise is downright, I can't believe this made the air. there's something about her ability to make the snappy banter buy you in on that. And so for me, I think that, Hallmark really for over a decade tried to make movies with no style. They didn't want you to watch a movie and go, this one's funny, this one's scary, this one's Nina, this one's Julie. They wanted you to think they're all the exact same, which I understand the marketing behind it. I disagree wholeheartedly. It's not why I watch movies, but it's in watching these movies, unlike anything else I've done, I could see a through line of style, which was fascinating for me,
You
even
look
when
at
it.
the posters from that era.
Oh
The
yeah,
movie
yeah,
posters
exactly.
were incredibly uniform.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Bill Abbott told me our movies aren't supposed to be funny. Like if there's a laugh out loud joke, I'm taking it out. Like he watched dailies of every movie, and he told me point blank. And I dare him to hear this and tell you that's not true. He told me point blank, our movies are not funny. If there's a joke that's laugh out loud funny, I'm taking it out. That's not what we do. And so Nina is funny. She is a writer that is more than capable of writing really witty, funny, romantic scripts. And so what was wild to me in watching 34 movies in 15 years to over two a year, which is nutso, is even when it doesn't work, there's a through line there, and there's some that don't work, but there are some that really do. And then I just feel like since 2021, Nina's gotten to really put some relish on these things. And that could be a spoiler alert for how I draft. I'm just letting you know, I think there's something about opening up what quality looks like on Hallmark that really has allowed Nina Weinman to be even better. So that's my hot take. And that's why I feel like this is going to be a fascinating draft, because I may not like some movies that are going to be fan favorites, and I may really stand up for some movies that people are going to, from your earlier works that people might record scratch. I'm fascinated at 5 to 10, because I know what I like, and I know what I liked watching this, and there were a couple of big surprises for me. So I can't wait. Starting with 10, I can't wait. I
want
think
to
it's
take
going to be
this
wild.
whole speech and I want to shellac it and I'm gonna put it on my wall. I'm gonna put it right here behind my desk so that it's right here. I mean, it's gonna be long.
Well, and I want to be fair to Nina, we started in 18, which was the wheelhouse of Nina writing movies that were kind of what Bill, like kind of this very generic thing. And so there was a stretch there where Nina was like, maybe one day I'll write a movie Dan enjoys. And so, because the problem was,
I probably texted that to you.
Yes, you did. You're like, one day I'm going to get a thumbs up, Dan. And it was because, the first 5 or 6 that I watched that you wrote aren't like, I don't think I would be shocked if they're on your top 10. And I guess I could be wrong, but I picked up the Nina Weinman oeuvre in a very weird place. And so
God, Dan said oeuvre.
that's right.
What's
And
happening?
It's only 8:30. So, but yeah, so I have no clue. I've every other draft we've gone into, I've had a pretty good idea. There might be one wild card, but I kind of know the 8 movies. And then that's why I like to try to do the math to win, is because I feel strongly. And also I think I know the movies. I don't know. I'm letting you know right now. I just don't know what's going to be played 10-5. And
okay.
I tried to pick Erin Shea's brain. Hey, which of these movies are fan favorites? And Erin pointed out 2 that I'm like, what? So I don't know. I watched them. I'm doing my best over here. That's all I can tell you.
You did watch them. I know that for a fact. The trivia round might be important to you to try to win, Dan, because you're coming into this match with a leftover veto from the Nikki Deloche draft back in April. So good luck. You've got a little extra power depending on what drafting position you end up with. So you sit back for a second, and I'm going to introduce our next panelist, who's making her second appearance on HMD. It's been a while. You were on way back in 2023. You haven't been on since then, not because you were my opponent in the Fake Relationships edition, where you pick shamed virtually every one of my movies.
I love you.
Exactly. She said that after every veto. I love you, but no. Spoiler alert, I did win that draft, so
Yes,
there is that. But she's been busy getting her degree. She just got married. She's still a newlywed. I think you're still in Vermont. I'm just super excited to have you back. And I'm doubly excited because I no longer have to butcher your maiden name anymore. It's Sarah Davis. And I love that. Welcome back, Sarah.
Hi. Yes, I got married last year, And the year before that, I was in Greece with my mom watching those movies for that Hallmark draft. So this summer, I had my husband, who I was like, "So, how do you feel?" And he suffered through a couple of them with me, and that was as far as he got. He's like, "This is not what I do."
I'm so excited for you. You know, the last time that I actually saw you, it was in person. You and I
Yes.
were at Bramblefest, Deck the Hallmark podcast annual event that everyone should go to in
Yes.
Greenville. Love that town. Um, it was Bramblefest 2023, and we were crammed into a room with 100 other people. And we were sweating bullets, not because Neil Bledsoe was there with his shirt unbuttoned down to his ankles, but because the AC wasn't working.
There was
And,
that.
and there was the
As
thermostat,
frustrated as I've ever been at Bramblefest.
and
Easily.
there was the thermostat on the wall had these giant numbers. And so you were looking at 92, 93. And it was the best time ever, was it
It
not?
was
We
so
had a
fun.
blast.
It was so fun. Totally
It did-
worth it.
Oh my God, it was so
And you
good.
guys
And
paid money for that.
We did and would do it again.
God, that's tough.
in a
That's tough.
heartbeat, in a heartbeat. And then you slayed at karaoke with
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
with Baby Yoda, was it? Call Me Maybe?
Yes, I sent that video. I did Call Me Maybe to a Baby Yoda that was on a tray stand, and was it? I don't know who it was. Was it you? Somebody recorded it, and I sent
I
it
did.
to my then boyfriend, who is now my husband,
Married you
and
anyway.
watched it over and over and over and loved it.
This is why I love you, Sarah. This is why I love you. And also, you've been up since 4 a.m. Eastern. Listeners, it is 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You've already had a long day. Are you staying hydrated for this draft?
Dear Lord, yes. I will be refilling the wine, so we're going to be fine. It's good.
Good. And are you still glazing pottery in Vermont?
I am. This is August 25th. I go back to school for my last year, and I am going for my teaching degree for history. And hopefully by next year at this time, I will have a teaching position. I will actually be a real life teacher with a degree and everything, with my own little classroom of students.
Little people?
Very
That's-
excited.
We're gonna keep our fingers crossed for you because you were just the best. I would love for you to be shaping the minds of our future generations. So 34 movies, 0 time on your plate. How's your top 10 list? Was it hard for you?
It was the first time. There were so many that I started off and I went, I'm gonna do something I've never done before, which is come up with a formula. I had to come up with a spreadsheet and some way of ranking them. So I ended up with the chemistry between the leads. What was the originality of the story? How was my ability to suspend disbelief? What was the kiss like? Because let's be honest, that is one of the things of Hallmark movies. And then just a general, did I like it or not? And that gave me a ranking of like, okay, so because I sat there and I went, how am I going to rank these? And that helped me enormously. So
I'm gonna
there
need to
was
see this spreadsheet.
oh,
I'm gonna need a copy of this one.
you see this?
I want to see it.
I have comments of things of like, oh my God, Bill Abbott would never. Um, but it was, yeah, so there were, I think I would say I had watched probably close to half of them before this draft. And so there were several that I had to watch, but a lot of the old ones, like the 2010, 2011 ones, I'm like, oh no, I remember watching that multiple times because it was why I liked Hallmark. I mean, Hallmark, ABC Family, I don't know if you remember that. They used to do made for TV movies. I loved those, and they were crazy. And people are doing like wild stuff and blackout drinking, and you're like, what is happening? It's the Wild West.
Just a side note on that, Catch Me If You Clause was called Hostage Santa and was originally developed at ABC Family. And they stopped
Okay.
making Christmas movies. And so when the executive from ABC Family came over to Hallmark, she was like, it's time, we're going to make this movie finally.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So we redeveloped it for Hallmark, but it was originally written for ABC.
That's really cool. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. It was fun coming up with the list. And then, so looking at my top 10 list, there are a few that I'm like, absolutely, this is for sure what is on my top 10. And then there's some that are like negotiable, I guess I'd say, but still, I mean the top 15, top 14, it's like I liked all of them to some degree. And after that, I had some issues.
Well, I can't wait to hear them. You are coming back with no extra
Nothing.
power, so good luck in Nina's trivia round. So you can sit back for a second, and I'm finally going to introduce, you've been waiting so patiently, our third panelist, making her third or fourth appearance on the show. She's the newest member of the HMD production team. She's taken on doing some special projects related to upcoming drafts. She loves making spreadsheets. I do not, so I'm so appreciative of her help and her Excel expertise. Don't underestimate her quieter demeanor. She's a savvy drafter, and she will maneuver her way around this list without you ever realizing that you've just been had. She's stealth. She's Erin Rempe. Hey, Erin.
Hey, Lynn, no pressure from that. Thanks. I do love my spreadsheets. I took all of my notes in my spreadsheet as well. I have 25 pages of notes if I was to print it out. So we'll see how this goes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, Erin, you and I were actually recently in Greenville as well. Shout out.
We were.
It was such a wonderful time, except I had to relive some trauma there, and it's kind of Dan's fault. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I do. I don't think Dan does, but could it be because I won something that you wanted and you're still kind of not over
Yeah.
it?
So, listeners, when Who, What, When first launched, Dan put Erin and I together on the quiz show, competing against one another. The topic was supposedly music, but somehow I got asked questions like, name the US president who implemented the Tariff of Abominations and played the xylophone, or something like
There's
that.
some
And
music in that. Xylophone's music.
Tariff of Abominations that
Was
Brand
that
kept Brand kept calling it the abominable tariffs or something.
that was the segment entitled Sax Education, was it not?
Yeah, baby,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. This
It
is
was
on public
rough.
radio, guys. This is classy. I don't care what you say, it's classy.
Yeah, and the winner of our match was going to get a Who, What, When fanny pack that didn't actually exist at the time. They made that really clear. But
Mhm.
during the show, I am hyping that fanny pack, that fake fanny pack, like it exists and everybody should have one throughout the whole thing, didn't I? I said I
A
want
lot,
this
yeah.
fanny pack a lot. I really want it.
Yeah.
Said it a few times, even though there was no fanny pack. And then
Did you ever get it? Did it ever exist?
Yeah, no, it exists. She just happened to lose.
wait for how
There it is. Did
dare
you see
you
it?
it? Yep.
show that?
Yeah, there
Oh,
it is.
she
My
had
fanny
it
pack.
ready.
I
Yeah,
She had it
did.
out.
locked and loaded.
She was ready. She came to
I am.
fight.
That's
Yes.
right.
Oh my gosh.
I know, Lynn. Sorry.
So Nina,
He
so
is they're right, Erin. You're quiet, but you're stealth.
the hell was that? I'll pull your mic right now. Yeah, so our score is tied, Nina, and then Dan asks some little softball question of Erin, and then to me, he's like, gives me this obnoxious trick question about musical editing apps, and Guitar Band was one of the answers. Look at, he's laughing already. Guitar Band was one of the answers. It was multiple choice. So of course I'm like, I have that on my phone. It's Guitar Band. And he's like, no, it's not. And if you were a professional musician, you would have known the correct answer. I'm like, what the
This is just
What?
not how this happened at all.
This is exact. Go to
This
the
is
tapes.
not how it
This
happened
is
at all.
exactly. He even
They
says,
would never
I'm
put that
sorry,
on the
Lynn,
radio,
that was
Lynn.
so
That's public radio. They would never put that on the radio. I don't know who's getting these questions. I write these months in advance. I don't know. I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
I just am writing some pop culture history questions.
So I want it's
But it's clear that
egregious.
it's clear that you're over it, and I think that's the good news.
No, I want a rematch, Dan. I want a
Okay.
rematch against Aaron. That's what I
Sounds
want.
to me like Lynn
I'm
was
game.
targeted.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
saying. I don't
I
know.
can't
It
believe
just
this.
sounds like
I
she was
can't believe it.
targeted.
That's
The
not-
questions were hard. They were very hard.
They were
I will,
very
I will give
Your
Dan that.
episode was the episode that made us have a meeting and go, I have to write questions that aren't so hard. because that episode, I was like, I really am excited about this episode. And then the executive producer, who I thought would be on my side on this, like asking these really tough history questions, he was like, "No, it's Saturday morning. It comes on after Wait, don't tell me. You need to pull it back and do like, more like pop culture, his surface history kind of stuff." And so you guys were guinea pigs in that regard, and I'm really, really sorry. I'm not sorry that Erin won because she won fair and square.
True.
But you guys did get the episode that was a little bit harder than the rest of them. I'll
And
say
she
that.
got a fanny pack.
Yeah.
She
So
got,
Erin's
and she
winning
got a real
life right
fanny
now,
pack.
not just the
Yeah.
game, but she's winning
No,
life.
she got it.
That's right.
She got it.
Yeah.
And she's showing it off. She is just showing it off.
Now I
It was
need to
pure
do
luck.
a
It was
deep
pure
dive
luck.
into Dan, because Dan did a deep dive into my career, and I need to. I'm
Oh, yeah.
obsessed. My husband and I love trivia. We will play it anytime. Like, we're obsessed with it. So
Listen
Do
to
it.
Who What When
Yeah.
wherever you find podcasts, because South Carolina Public Radio and the right now especially needs all the support they can get. Because
yeah, right.
yeah.
Let's support
Yep.
public television, public radio.
Public television,
We're-
public
yeah.
For
radio.
sure.
Yeah.
they're taking
Absolutely.
they're taking us out to the Public Radio Showcase in Salt Lake City in 2 weeks, and they're worried it might be the last time they have it because like it's put on by a
There's
different
no
group.
budget. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but like
they-
Ira Glass is speaking. We're gonna do a live show. at
Oh
a
my
bar.
gosh, you're gonna do an
That's
Irish
awesome.
class? That's gonna be
Yeah, it's
great.
gonna be fun.
You're gonna have some fanny packs to give away for
I
him
need
to
to
We
the
are.
crowd, maybe?
I need
Yeah,
to
that's
get
nice.
some.
You
That's
have
right.
my address. You could send one anyway.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, you gotta
Erin.
win. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes,
Erin,
Lynn.
even though you have the fanny pack of my dreams, you were coming into the match with one leftover veto and a veto override from the
I
Wes
am.
Brown. Trivia round's important to you, okay?
And I'm dreading it. There's 34 movies, and I have no idea what's to be asked. And so I just hope that we don't have like an hour of trivia. 'Cause
Ask some
I'm not feeling-
softballs, Nina. Ask some
Right?
easy ones,
Oh, they're
please.
begging
Truly.
you, Nina. They're begging you. All right, here we go. We're
Truly.
going to shift into gameplay mode. This was
I'm
fun,
muted.
guys.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go super soft. I'm gonna go
Okay,
super.
good.
So tell me whenever you're ready for me to start.
You got it.
I watch hundreds of these movies a year. Please, for the love of God, help me out.
Don't listen to him. Make him
Yeah.
pay. Make him pay for
Okay,
all
here we
those.
go.
It's a dumpster fire. Here we
Yeah,
go.
That's true.
We'll
It's fair.
see how it goes. I'm definitely gonna ask a few from Dan's favorites. So
Good.
Eligibility for this draft, very straightforward. Nina has to have sole writing credit or a shared writing credit for the movie. They had to have premiered on a Hallmark channel or streaming service. There's 34, as I already mentioned. So head over to HMD Letterboxd account. It's Hallmark Drafts. That's Kate's baby. Let's talk drafting positions for this match. There are 3 of them. A, B, and C. The drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3 on the list. Drafter C gets 1 veto card and a veto override card. Drafter B picks positions 9, 6, 4, and 2. Drafter B gets only 1 veto card because that position gets 4 picks instead of 3, so more chances to get their movies from their personal list onto the final list in a perfect world. Drafter A picks positions 8, 5, and the number 1 position on the list. They get 1 veto card and a bonus veto, so it's 2 vetoes, and picks a number 1 position. So how do we decide who gets to be drafter A, B, or C? That's where Kate and Nina come in. Kate's going to go over the trivia rules, and then Nina's going to test the panelists' knowledge with a round of trivia questions related to the eligible movies. The first person to answer 1 question correctly gets to choose whether they want to be drafter A, B, or C. They'll be first up in the veto order for each round as well. The second person to answer the next question correctly will pick their position from the remaining 2. They'll be second up in the veto order, and the third person will get whatever is left over. So Kate, I'm going to take a big deep breath now. You can go over the trivia rules, and then Nina can start reading some questions. Remember, Dan's got an extra veto coming into this, and Erin has a extra veto and a veto override from the Wes Brown, and Sarah just has her lucky beautiful dog next to her, so good luck.
All right, so just 3 quick rules. When you think you know the answer, raise your Zoom hand. Whoever goes up first, I will call on you. Do not raise your Zoom hand until Nina has finished asking the question. And if no one knows the answer, we'll just move on to the next one. We're not going to do hints or anything. Do any of you have any questions? All right, Nina has some.
okay, well, I'm gonna start with the one that I know is Dan's very favorite movie of mine
Oh boy.
I've ever written. So this question, in Double Holiday,
Oh, God.
starring Carly Pope and Christopher Palaha, what nickname does Rebecca, played by Carly Pope, give to her crush with whom she shares her daily elevator ride at work?
Erin?
Fancy suit guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
Dan, I can't believe you
Whoa.
did not memorize that movie.
have I watched Double Holiday since 2019? I will not answer the question.
I
I'll
have a
put
lot of feelings about you from that one, but we're not going to go there.
That's fair. That's fair. That's
I
totally
don't know.
fair.
Fancy suit guy. Don't you have fancy shirt Sunday in your house?
Fancy Shirt Sunday, courtesy of my children,
Yeah.
my twin boys, who instilled Fancy Shirt Sunday in my house. So yeah, I should really know
You
better.
should have gotten that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, good job. So Erin, you sit
Okay.
back for a little bit and we'll see if Dan or Sarah can answer the next question.
Here we
Okay, so
go.
the next one might be a little trickier, but we'll see. In Coming Home for Christmas, which stars Danica McKellar and Neil Bledsoe, what is the name of the estate where Danica's character Lizzie takes a job as the house manager?
Oh, I think I know it. It's like Ashford.
Very good.
Oh,
Bam,
Very good. I
Wow.
thought that was going to be a pretty hard one, but nice job.
bam.
Wow.
Let
No,
me
that's
That was
get
it. You're done.
We don't
You're
have to do
done.
we're
anymore.
done.
done. That's it.
You're
We got
done.
it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
You did it.
That's it. You did
That's
it.
it. We got two.
Wow.
We're good.
So it's Erin, Dan, and then Sarah. So Erin, do you want to be drafter A, B, or C?
I don't know. It's a hard decision. Let's go, I think A or B, A or B.
Yeah, take your time. I mean, because it's important because you actually are coming in with a veto and a veto override. So,
Sheesh. And she gets to pick
I'm
first. That's
and she
ridiculous.
picks first. She could do a lot of damage here if she.
This
Sheesh.
is true. I think I'm gonna go with B, the 4 picks and the extra veto.
Wow, I think you're being very nice. I am surprised. Okay, so Erin's going to be drafter B. She'll have picks 9, 6, 4, and 2. That comes with 1 veto. She's coming in with an extra veto, and she has 1 veto override. Okay, Dan.
Wow.
do
Erin,
you-
God bless you for not taking any extra blessings. Unbelievable.
I know.
This is tough because I wanted B. That's what I wanted. But knowing Erin had the 2 things and not getting any extra, I guess I'll take that. I've also resigned to the fact that my 1 is not going to be 1, and I'm okay with that. And I would rather stand on business and still lose because I want to fight for this movie, which I think is just so good. Having said all that, I'm going to be drafter C.
Okay, so drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3 on the list. It comes with 1 veto, 1 veto override, and you have 1 leftover veto from Nikki Deloche. So you were very kind too. You could have had the number 1 plus 3 vetoes. So
But I can't
Dan,
veto my own pick, Lynn. If I could veto if I get to pick one and then they
Yeah.
could veto, I just feel good about it. I wanted B. That's what I wanted. So
Lynn, did I mess up? Because I do get a veto, right? With B?
yes. So you have
Yeah, you do. You
Yeah.
have 2
Wait,
vetoes
okay.
and an override.
you have
Yep.
the same thing that I have. 2 vetoes,
Yep.
1
Okay.
override.
2 vetoes and
And
an
more, but I
override.
have more picks than you, Dan. So
You have more picks. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And she's always got a gloat and she's got a fanny pack.
As long as Sarah puts double holiday at 1, I think everything will go
Oh
great.
my gosh, here
Don't
we
even worry
go.
about
No
it.
negotiating, no
locked in.
collusion. So Sarah, you are drafter A. You get picks 8, 5, and the number 1 position, and you get 2 vetoes basically. So pretty even on the vetoes there. Veto overrides, they very rarely get used up. So good luck with them, but they can be important to the gameplay. All right, guys, here we go. Dan, you're kicking it off as drafter C. What are you
Yeah.
going to offer up?
This is the big bonus. The big bonus of being C is I get the feeling I'm the only person that's going to bring up this movie. And I watched it about 9 hours ago. My number 10 is a movie from 2014 starring Benjamin Hollingsworth and Jessica Soar called Lucky in Love. And I'll let you go ahead with the synopsis, Lynn.
Thank you so much. So here's the synopsis. When Mira's April Fool's Day tricks materialize, she finds herself promoted to the perfect job, dating the perfect man, and living in the perfect home. And Mira's newly upgraded life even involves working with her CEO and good friend on a coveted work project. And when these seemingly positive changes result in big challenges, she realizes that the pursuit of perfection is a fool's errand. And in order to achieve a life that's perfect for her, she must let go of perfection and chase what brings her true happiness. Peter Benson is in this as well. Cindy Busby is in this. 2014, Lucky in Love, Dan. Why?
So here's the thing that's fascinating about this movie. There is no world where it should work on any level. It is an April Fool's movie where the pranks come true. If you pitch me that movie, I would say, no way, no how, absolutely not. And some of that does hold up. I'm a little fuzzy on the prank part of it. And I'm also a little fuzzy on why anyone thought it was a good idea to make a April Fool's movie. But here's what I found in the movie. I was enamored by Jessica Soar. I remember her on The Orville, a show that I didn't think I would like and actually did enjoy, but I didn't know she did a Hallmark movie. This is pre-Benjamin Hollingsworth kind of finding it, but Jessica Soar is so witty and quick, and she's got these best friends. And Cindy Busby is not a lead in this movie. She's got like dark brown hair. The things that I loved about this movie, it is so silly and ridiculous, is that in a lot of these movies, like Dream for Christmas and Family for Christmas, where Lacey and Nikki, these amazing powerhouse actors, get to see what it would be like to climb the corporate ladder and realize they'd rather just be a stay-at-home mom instead. This movie finds this woman who is capable and strong and witty and funny and unapologetic for that. And I credit Nina for writing in a way to where, I read some user reviews of this movie. The user reviews on IMDb are kind of low, where they're like, this lead annoyed me. And I'm like, that's because she actually speaks up and gives her opinion and stuff, which is awesome. And at the end of this movie, like, she still holds power as a collaborative force. And so the movie is very silly. It's very unfortunate. The music added to this movie is very unfortunate. It's like bing bong hump hump, we don't have any money. There's some stuff about this movie that certainly doesn't work. But for some reason, also, I don't know whose idea it was, they just straight rip off Peppa Pig in this movie. They just are like, Peppa Pig, we're going to make sure it's Peppa Pig without saying anything. There's just something so incredibly silly about this movie that I see 4 or 5 Christmas movies a year where it's like, I wish I had another life. And then they have another life. Usually it doesn't really work until the scene at the end, the George Bailey scene at the end of the movie. In this movie, because of the lead, I had a fun time with it. Like, it's definitely 2014 Hallmark, but there was something plucky and just different, and just the gall to try a movie where your pranks come true. There was something about that maybe I was just inundated with so many movies that I went, there's something plucky about this that I feel like in a sea of movies that I think all could be 10, I think I just like this one more. And so I went with it at 10, hoping that if I got the 10th pick, I could talk about it.
Well, so plucky in love instead of lucky in love is
That's right.
what Dan is basically saying. Erin, you are first up in the veto order. What do you think about lucky, plucky in love?
So when I first started watching this movie, some of my first notes were like, wow, this is light and witty. I'm only 5 minutes in. This is wonderful. I really enjoyed it. And then it just went out the rails for me. I didn't necessarily like Benjamin Hollingsworth in this. I thought there wasn't enough of him. There wasn't enough of them building their love story together. So the fact that she suddenly realized at the end that he's supposed to be her forever was not believable. I do second everything Dan said about the strong businesswoman. I thought that she stand up for herself was great. Someone who's in the business world, you don't just go from her position to a VP. You have to work a lot. I mean, it's so unbelievable.
No.
And normally I'm like, okay, suspend disbelief, but that one hit a little bit too close to home. So sorry, Dan. I have to veto this one. I was
Please,
not
yeah,
fan of
go for
the
it.
April Fools, and there were some really good moments in this, but overall it just didn't work. And she was kind of horrible. She was great, but the way she treated her friends, I was pretty horrible. I would
So,
have been pissed off if I was Cindy Busby too.
I mean, seven's looking like a great spot for it anyway, so that works out for
Oh,
me. But
that
also,
works.
I do want to say this. This movie has a line where this terrible, awful boyfriend that she thinks she likes comes in and says, "I got us 2 tickets to Kenny Chesney," and she says, "I don't like country music," and he says, "You haven't heard Kenny Chesney." The idea, I'm from the South, the idea that someone would be anti country music but love Kenny Chesney when they heard him is wild, is a wild idea. It's like this brand of Wrangler jeans, tank top, and cowboy hat. Actually, now that I think about it, and then I will say that there is a part of this movie where she impresses people in 2014 with 2002 web design. That's a riot. So I get it, but like I said, like seven's a great spot for it, and I got a bunch of other movies to choose from, so that works for me.
So it's vetoed for now, unless you particularly want to say something about it, Sarah.
I actually did.
Good.
Because I agree with Dan. Because I kept waiting for her to have to choose between her career and love, which is always the
Mhm.
drama. I've got this big giant job, or, you know, and I liked the more complicated perspective of choosing to be a better person, because that ultimately was what she had to deal with, was actually stop being an a-hole and be nice instead of, feeling like you have to be a horrible human. And in the process figure out who she's in love with. So I yeah, I liked this movie. I had it, yeah. So there. That's all I'll say about
All
that.
right. Okay.
It's going to come back, it sounds like.
It
Fascinating.
might come back, but Nina, how did this movie happen? How did this movie come about?
At the time that we sold, this is the only movie that I'm credited with somebody else that I actually wrote it with somebody else. So I wrote it with one of my best friends. She's a writer and really wanted to get into the Hallmark fold. And so we were looking for, at the time they were like, every single holiday is going to have a movie. And we were like, what holidays haven't been tapped yet? And I've never sold a movie faster.
Wow.
Came up with this idea. We were like, what about an April Fool's movie? Like a fun rom-com April Fool's movie. And they were like, yeah, I like that idea. So we came up with the idea, we sold the pitch, and it's not a holiday where Hallmark actually has a greeting card for it, because that's usually what you're looking for, is Hallmark's a greeting card company, right? But they liked it. Always shocks me that they don't air it every year on April Fool's Day, because I'm like, why aren't they airing this? It'll
No
air like at
competition.
some random time throughout the year, but why doesn't it air on April 1st, which is actually also my husband's birthday? So
Oh,
he's
that's cool.
April Fool.
Oh,
It was just, what holidays haven't been tapped? What can we do at that time that's unique, has not been done, and we sold it like that.
I hope they do air it. I hope it's on Hallmark Plus, if nothing
They
else.
do
I hope
air it from time to time. It's just never on, actually, on April 1st.
it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, Dan, it got vetoed. What are you going to replace Lucky in Love with?
Thanks for asking, Lynn. I'm going to go with a 2021 film starring Charlotte Sullivan and Trevor Donovan.
Wow.
A little movie called Two for the
For the
Win.
win.
Two for the Win. You'll let you take it
Wow.
from there, Lynn.
Wow.
Wow, I'm surprised to see this one on the list.
A Trevor Donovan on Dan's list. They said it couldn't be done, but he just did it. I don't have a lot actually. A world champion ski racer and a local ski instructor find romance on the slopes as he returns home and prepares for the biggest race of his life. Lots of
Um,
stakes.
so Hallmark notoriously bad at sports movies. I mean, like Hallmark sports movies better when they don't try. I like them better when they all get over for Thanksgiving. They're like the game's on and it's red versus blue. I don't know if you've caught on to this, but there's just two teams playing that are in a nondescript jerseys that are red and blue, and it's always red versus blue. There's something about this. You can actually listen to the Deck the Hallmark episode on this where I don't rave about this movie. However, there's two things about this movie that really stick out. The stakes of this event for Trevor Donovan's character feel real, which is a big deal. And I'm someone that spent a lot of my time in sports and I love sports dearly. And also Trevor Donovan, someone that I'm like, he's a nice guy. I don't think anybody's ranking him a top 3 thespian on the Hallmark network. He's a professional skier. And I can't believe I'm saying this out loud because it's not true on any other network, but there's a 2021 Hallmark grittiness to this movie and you can start to see a theme in my movies, which is I watch thousands of these and the ones that stick out are different. And so for me, I've watched a bunch of movies. This guy's really skiing. You know how in Les Mis, they're really singing during the takes? This guy is really skiing. Now, does he always know how to deliver Nina's dialogue? Not always. But the stakes are real. It seems plausible. And the sports in this movie work. They work. That is the highest compliment I can pay a Hallmark sports movie. The sports work. Listen, Lacey Chabert and Tyler Hines made a movie where Tyler is a basketball coach, and it's terrible. And they're wonderful, and it's terrible. Hallmark doesn't do sports well. This is a sports movie that if you like Hallmark and you like sports, this movie holds up in both regards. And so for me, shout out to a decent sports movie for once. So yeah, 2 for the win.
Dan, you and I have been trying to do a Hallmark sports draft for a while,
right.
and we can't do
Yeah.
it because the movies are
There's
so
not
bad.
enough. No. Love on the sidelines. Get out of here.
Just really horrible. So, with that said, Erin, Dan says, it's got grittiness, and he says thespian.
Mhm.
What do you say about 2 for the win?
I say I actually really enjoyed it. I liked it a
Okay.
lot. I agree with Dan. It was one of the better sports movies, hands down. But what I really loved was Kayla's character. I thought she was witty and fun. She brought a lot of heart to the movie. There was the one scene where they're, I don't know, in the snow and he's kind of defeated. And she says to him something like, "It's not all you have, it's all you choose." And
Mm.
that line just really stuck out to me. And it's like every single day we choose our actions, our choices, how we feel, whatever. And so I thought that was a beautifully written line, Nina. And for that reason alone, I put it on my list as well. Spoiler. So
Great.
I'm good with it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Erin is good with it. That is a good line. Charlotte Sullivan is Kayla. We don't see a lot of her in Hallmark movies.
The only one she's ever done.
That's what I was
Yeah.
just going to say, right?
She's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great.
It's not that old, 2021. Sarah, what do you think?
She doesn't love
I
it.
hate you all. I hate you all.
Uh-oh.
I hate
Here we
you all.
go.
I know he's trying to bleed out his veto from me, and I have to sit here and decide if I'm going to give it to him because this movie is number 32 on my
Yeah,
list.
it is.
34.
Wow.
Was
I'm telling you,
strategic,
Nina,
Dan?
it's going to be a wild, wild spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh my-
While I believe Trevor can ski, I wrote, I do not believe that she's going to bring him up to snuff in a week. Also, there was something about more cowbell. I don't know. However, this is at number 10. I will let this slide.
Huh.
Ooh.
Sarah's not biting. Sarah, you didn't do it,
Okay.
Dad. All right.
All right.
We have 2 for the win locked in at number 10. Nina,
I
thoughts
have a
on 2
good-
for the win?
A good story about this movie.
Ooh.
I'd love
So this was during COVID. I couldn't go because it was either the end of 2020 or the beginning of, it was probably 2020 that we shot it, the end of 2020. I would say if it aired in January, it was November maybe of 2020. Couldn't go to set. Everything was still major COVID restrictions. I came on as this was a rewrite. I came on, I knew it was Trevor and did a rewrite for him. And we were shooting up in Ottawa. at this ski resort, and there was no snow.
What?
We're supposed to start shooting in a
Yeah.
couple of days, and they keep pushing the ski days, pushing the ski days. There's no snow. There's supposed to be snow, there's no snow. So the night before, they were going to go to maybe a higher elevation. They're trying to figure out what to do. And the night before, we're supposed to shoot Trevor's skiing scenes. And he is actually a competitive skier. He was. He's not anymore, but he was. And it's actually legitimately him doing all of his own skiing. It snowed.
Oh,
And we
perfect.
got
Okay.
Look at this.
It's your Hallmark moment.
Perfect. Come on.
It was
The Christmas
like
miracle.
it was literally like magic. They had a contingency plan. I'm not sure what it was. They can make snow somehow at these resorts and stuff, but there was no snow. They're like, okay, great.
Wow. New respect for Trevor Donovan.
Yeah, he really
Check
did
that
his
one
own
out.
ski. He used to be a competitive skier.
But I also think it brings out his best performance. Like I personally think that him buying in as a skier and getting to do that lends itself to some real emotion, which is great.
And
Yeah.
our producers, Charlotte Sullivan, had not done, she's a Canadian actress. She had not done, because obviously if Trevor's American, we have to have a Canadian. So if our number one star is American, our number two has to be Canadian if we're shooting it in Canada to get all the tax credits. So Trevor's American, had to be a Canadian actress, and our producer, Joel Rice, fought for Charlotte. They didn't know her. They weren't familiar with her. She had played Marilyn Monroe in the Kennedys miniseries that Joel had produced, and he fought for her, and they finally agreed to let her do it.
Awesome. Awesome. Dan, you played a sports movie and got it on the list.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
This sums up 2025 perfectly. All right, Erin. Erin, you are at number 9. What are you going to throw at us?
So this one is from 2018 with Becca Tobin and Niall Mater, and it is Love at First Dance. So what I loved about this one is, first off, it was him coming to a realization of what he really wanted his life to look like. And he was willing to walk away from the career to pursue a career that he really wanted. He wasn't trading in a career for love. He was trading in for a career for what he truly wanted to be doing in his life. I also thought, I've always been a fan of Becca from her Glee days, which now is problematic, but that's another story. But overall, I thought
That's
Becca did a
another
great job.
podcast. Yes.
Right, exactly. I thought Becca, her dancing was great. She really seemed to, I thought, play those moments where she had to be tender and really work with him to get to the heart of the matter really well. I thought her outfits were on point. She always looked gorgeous. And I really liked her struggle as well. Do I stay? Do I go? What do I want for my career? And really didn't play into, I'm kind of falling for him. Maybe I should stay for that reason. She still went. She went to London and she pursued what she wanted to do as well. And of course, it's Hallmark, so they came together at the end. But it was beautiful. I enjoyed it. I feel like this might be a wild card, so I guess we'll see.
Love at First Dance at number 9, played by Erin. Yeah, so you've got Becca and Niles in the water dancing. They did it before Will Kemp and Lacey did
Yep.
recently. So what's not to love, Dan, about Love at First Dance at number 9?
Yeah, so this movie came out 2 weeks before the first episode of Deck the Hallmark, which at that point we were doing Christmas movies
That's only,
only.
yeah.
So I had to go back and watch this one, and I feel like I may have caught it at a moment when I just felt like I was seeing Niall Mater or Rachel Boston in every movie Nina had written. This was not a favorite of mine. I don't disagree with some of like, I like the idea of the choice. I like Becca Tobin in this movie. I just didn't have, dancing movies are a tough sell. That tango movie with the murder and Will Kemp is kind of an exception there. But like the year that Two for the Win came out, everyone really liked Taking a Shot at Love. I believe that's a Julie Sherman Wolf movie, and I preferred Two for the Win in that same season because the hockey I just didn't think passed the test. I thought that Luke McFarlane and Panavega were good, but the hockey didn't. I just never got fully invested in this movie. That is one of the downsides of watching 12 or 13 movies over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. So this wasn't super high on my list. It wasn't super low either. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm in a tough spot here. The other problem is I just don't have a clue. Like I didn't know. I thought this movie could maybe be on here. And I thought maybe I had no clue on this one. And neither did Aaron Shea. Aaron Shea was like, yeah, that one's fine. So I'm kind
Don't
of
throw
I'm
Erin under the bus. She wasn't
no,
drafting.
Aaron was invaluable in this, like for just to get a perspective of someone who watched them when they came out.
As I
Um,
recall, the whole reason you didn't make it to the second round of this year's tournament was because Erin was
I'd
at
never
church
seen, that's right.
and you'd never
That's right.
seen.
Summer Villa. That's right.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
never seen it, so I put the two movies I'd not seen last, and that cost me. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Okay.
It was time for somebody else to win. You know, Lynn, I can't win everything. You know, um,
Okay.
I I'm gonna veto this. I'm gonna veto it. And we don't have anywhere to be. I mean, my kids usually get up at 6:30. So I feel like
Nina
if
and
we
Kate are on the
yeah,
West Coast. They don't
that's right.
care.
Oh yeah, you guys.
My daughter just got home. I
Yeah.
hear them coming in. She got home.
Um,
This.
yeah, I think I'm gonna veto it because I think Aaron could very well play this higher. I think there's some movies none of us are. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I feel like there's a logjam coming of movies that we all love or have strong feelings about, and we don't know the order of. And so on that line of thinking, I'm going to veto it.
Dan's going to use one of his vetoes to veto Love at First Dance. Sarah, you don't have a veto override. It was Erin's pick. So it's off, and you need to pick another movie.
All right, let's do Flip That Romance from 2019 with Julie Gonzalo and Tyler Hines. I just really enjoyed this movie. Honestly, Tyler ages like fine wine, and you can never go wrong with him. I really also enjoyed, after watching Nina's full career, it was nice to have a movie that wasn't a party planner movie. Sorry, Nina. So it was nice to have just a little bit of variety in there. So for that reason, I really think Julie Gonzalo is fantastic. She was in a couple of the movies, and I think we need more of her on Hallmark in general. Um, was it crazy? Yes. Was the wall super thin and somehow he used one hammer and he's on the other
Oh
side?
my God.
Ridiculous. I mean, so
Yes.
many things that were just like so many wait whats. However, I liked it. I thought the
Also, the
moment was really
moment that
sweet.
I heard about more than anything else.
Yeah, it's a little
So
absurd.
ridiculous.
It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. But the
The
one,
audience loved it. They ate it up.
rightfully so, it's a decent movie. I thought the thing that I loved more than anything is there was an interrupted kiss and they still kissed. They
Yeah, they
didn't
did.
not kiss. It was so refreshing to see on Hallmark. And that was one of the reasons why it made my top 10.
Yeah, it was the dueling duplexes, renovation competition for a magazine spread. This movie was actually ranked number 7 in the Tyler Hines draft back in
That's crazy.
2023, believe it or not, all those years ago. All right, Flip That Romance by Erin. Dan?
I would say my veto turned out a lateral move. I like the walls are paper thin. I like that the walls are like I don't know how they're standing. I don't think Tyler's quite found it yet in this movie. I one thing I talk about with Tyler from time to time, to just drop another name, I'll pick it up later, but
Oh, ow,
I
my
got to see him
foot.
in Georgia. But like I think that like Tyler's done a great job lately of going, how do I get other people involved? And like, who cares if I'm the lead or not? I just want to make stuff with people. But when Tyler gets to be a lead now, I feel like it's just kind of, he's going to ride a motorcycle and chew on a toothpick and he's going to smolder. And he's very capable of doing other things. And I think in this movie, he does get to do that. I think Falling for You, he gets to do that. And that's why I love An Unexpected Christmas. I think he gets to do that there. Julie Gonzalo has never super duper worked for me. I think I hear great things. I've never seen one of her movies. This was somewhere in the middle of the pack for me. Obviously, I'm not going to use another veto on it. So yeah, go fight, win, flip that romance.
Dan says, yeah, I'm going to let it slide. Sarah, what about you? Flip That Romance.
I
Tyler Hines.
adore this movie. I
course.
love this movie. I like that I mean, I would have it higher than 9, but there's plenty to come. The one scene that bothered me more than anything is the candle scene. Um, I don't care about the walls. You can have the walls as thin as tissue paper for all I care. I don't want to be in that room with that many candles. I can't figure out where they got all of the candles. I'm sitting there watching that scene and I'm like, but where did you get the candles? Just the electricity went out. How did you get that many candles? Who did you buy
So
them
many
from?
candles.
But then they kiss and I'm totally fine.
I write in the movie, they're sitting by candlelight, and in my head, there's 2 candles and 2 candlesticks. And then I watch the movie and there's 400.
It's a fire. It's like it's
Yeah.
literally
really a hazard when
it's
you've got
so
open
hot.
paint cans and yeah.
I will say this. Erin mentioned the kiss that was going to be an Alma kiss. One thing I did notice consistently is Nina is ahead of the curve on the mid-movie kiss.
Mhm.
Like, like this idea, this trope that by the time I started doing Deck the Hallmark was cemented, which is you're going to have a moment where they almost kiss and then somebody's pager goes off and it's stupid. Nina was ahead of the curve. Like, there are numerous Nina Weinman movies from before 2015 where they kiss around an hour in, 50 minutes in, and by the time we get to flip that romance, it was cemented. I was like, a lot of these tropes are tropes for a reason, and Hallmark has earned them. But I would say that Nina's work flies in the face of that, and so kudos to you, Nina, because
I always want to do that. I want to take the trope and I want to turn it on its ear. Like we think, oh, the phone's ringing, and I'm like, if Tyler Hines is about to kiss me and my phone rings, I'm gonna answer it. Like, what kind of an idiot am I? No, of course not. I'm gonna be like, I can't wait. I'll throw my phone in the river. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
no, you're not gonna answer. Oh, this might be really important. I'm renovating a duplex. Like, you're not a doctor. You're not like nobody's waiting on a heart.
That's right. Exactly.
Kiss the guy and then answer. Call back.
It's pretty simple.
Nothing's that important.
Right.
I started counting how many movies had a mid-movie kiss because I'm like, this has to be her calling card. I think if I didn't miss any, there's like 17.
That's
but then some,
wild.
yeah, and then some of the movies don't even count because, like, for example, like the Miss Miracle movies, they're already married, so that doesn't quite fall into that category. So some of them are out by default. So well over half of your movies included the.
I love that.
Good
That's a great pull
stats.
there, Erin.
Good
Yeah.
stats
I
there,
don't
Erin.
wanna. We want to see them kiss now. Like if you're on a date and things are going really well with a guy, or a girl, and they go in for the kiss, you're gonna kiss them. Like you don't wait until like, oh, we've broken up and now we're back together and now we get to kiss. Like no, if things are going well, you're gonna kiss, right? I mean, I'm not throwing them in bed together. Just.
We have a best kiss draft coming up, and so the eligibility list is really up to the panelists because it's so subjective. There's no way for Kate's patented vetting ladder to help out in this. So
I think I'm gonna make that cut with one of my kisses.
Please.
Oh, I've already seen some of the panelists have been emailing me with their thoughts on what they might be putting on their list, and I've seen some of your movies already come through.
Oh,
so it's going to be
good.
really, it's going to be
I was
interesting.
thinking just one, but yeah.
Wow, guys, we are 90 minutes in. We've got 2 movies.
Oh my God, sorry, I'll shut up.
No, you're fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
Nina, you're the problem. That's what it
Nina,
was.
you are so not the problem.
I won't tell too many more stories.
No, that's why you're
really
here.
good ones.
Your
stories are great.
Stories. In fact, I wanted to kind of double back. Love at First Dance. Any memories on that one?
I really love that movie a lot. I think it was really special. The music, the dancing, and you mentioned the costumes. We were blown away because I don't know that people realize that every sock, every scarf, every earring you put on these actors and actresses have to be approved by the network. They approve every piece of wardrobe. And Ken, who is our costume designer on that one, is just spectacular. You cannot mess up Becca Tobin. She looks good in everything. The dresses, all of the things, we were just like, he knocked it out of the park. And she's a doll. I adore her. I really love that movie. And the music, there was a big discussion, and getting that Crazy Love, the Michael Bublé song, was like a big discussion. And they went to New York City and they stole shots on the Brooklyn Bridge and in, walking down the street. So once you go into Central Park were in Victoria, British Columbia. But watching them walk into Central Park, they just shot that in
Awesome.
New York City. They went
Wow.
without permits, without a crew. Director, cameraman, number one and number two are two top actors, and they just showed them
That's
walking
cool.
on the Brooklyn Bridge
That's
That's
so
cool.
cool because that's a great shot too.
and
So
had people sign releases if they were behind them, but for the most part, we kind of blurred it out and stuff. So yeah, it was really, I thought that one was really special.
yeah, and you've done a lot with Niall too. You've done a few movies with Niall. So
Five.
yeah, it's great. Wow, yeah,
Mm.
Five
five.
movies. I love Niall. I think he's such an incredible guy, and he's just really, he's a great actor. I think he's just grown so much and gotten better with every movie, and he's just really like the real deal. He's super special.
Yeah, we look forward to him all the time. And
Maybe
as I
I just
said,
worked with him a month or so ago. I don't know.
Ooh.
Maybe I have something coming up with him, which is number five. Maybe. I don't know. I can't really say, but I love him.
love this. We love you, Nina. We love you. All right, we've got two for the win at 10. Flip that romance at 9. Sarah, it's going to be your very first pick now. You've had a while to think about what you're going to throw down. What's it going to be?
I will play Lucky in Love.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't know that there's a lot more to say about it, except I remember watching it when it first came out, and then on the rewatch, and then looking at the character list and going, wait, Benjamin Hollingsworth? Like, who is he? And because he just looks so completely different, and I was like, oh, I like him a lot in glasses. But so yes, I really did enjoy this movie. So yeah, I think it's worth being on the list.
Wow, Sarah plays it at number 8, where Dan had played it at 10 and it got vetoed. So Dan, I'm assuming you're not going to veto it at 8.
I love this, Sarah. You've always been my favorite, and I love it. It's a great choice. I mean, I watched this movie and I'm like, this is the one. Nobody's gonna like this but me, and I'm thrilled that it made. I'm thrilled it made the list. Can't believe it made it, but I'm thrilled it made it. Or maybe
Er-
Aaron could still veto.
Aaron, yeah. What
No,
about
I'm
you,
not.
Aaron?
No, I'm not going to veto, but I'm making notes for the men and or the hunks and glasses draft coming up later this Lynn, because
Yeah.
maybe I need to
God.
include this in my top 10 on that one. I don't know,
I
but
don't
no,
know
I'm not
why
going to
I
veto you.
agreed to that. That is just insanity. That is just 5 drafters. Everybody's doing their own list, and I'm just going to turn the mic on and drink. So you guys will figure it out.
Same,
Whatever, people.
right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, Lucky in Love comes back at number 8. Kate, how you doing?
Good. I'm ready for a refill over here. We've been talking a long time.
All right, let's take a quick break, you guys. I'm going to pause
Okay.
the recording. Okay, Dan, it is back to you for number 7. You can't play Lucky in Love like you were threatening because it's already been played at number 8.
It was going to be a real. I'm thrilled. Lucky and Love's on there because it was going to have to be a moment where I had to choose: do I want to try to win, or do I want to fight for 2 movies that I'm not like Lucky and Love and one other movie? Now that makes this decision relatively easy. I'm going with a film from 2021 with Caitlin Doubleday, Steve Lund, and Caroline Ray. It's Debbie McComber presents Nina Weinman's A Mrs. Miracle Christmas. Lynn, I'll let you take it from there.
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, Steve Lund. Let's
Lund.
do
Steve
it.
Lund.
Steve Lund. Steve Lund. Oh, Caroline Rhea, what can you do? So, when a family faces loneliness and loss of faith, Mrs. Miracle swoops in to renew their Christmas spirit, and they experience a holiday of heavenly proportions. Written by Nina Weinman and Debbie Maycomer.
So here's the deal with this movie. And I'm going to do my best to not get emotional, not because just because of, I think you guys know, but I was not burdened with what do I think of Caroline Ray versus Doris Roberts discussion. You need to know that first off, because I still have never seen the Doris Roberts movies, which
Right.
she's fantastic. And I know one of those movies had James Van Der Beek in it, like it was a really big deal. So I'm well aware that there's some folks out there that just decided this is not my Mrs. Miracle. I'm well aware of that. That was not me. Also, if Caroline Rhea is wrong as Mrs. Miracle, I don't want to be right. This combination of spirituality and Mary Poppins and a magic bag, yes, please. Absolutely. It's how you do Christmas magic, in my opinion. It's also, in my opinion, how you do faith. I think you turn people off when you do dogma, and you turn people on when you talk about hope and beauty in the ashes and things being imperfect. That's what we want to hear. It's going to be all right and life's worth living when things suck. And lastly, I'm a foster parent and a adoptive parent through the Department of Social Services, and I watched this movie with my boy, and there were moments in this movie where it was everything I had to not just lose it crying. I have been very hard on Hallmark about how they treat foster care and adoption for the better part of a decade. There is a movie where Candace Cameron Bure is living in a toy maker's attic and goes, well, I'm going to adopt them. And I just want to be like, have you guys ever read a book, like a single book? Look, there's inner workings about adoption that you can't get right in 84 minutes. There's TPRs, there's cases, there's trials, there's caseworkers, there's guardian ad litems. This movie gets the spirit of what it means to be wanted right. And that to me matters. It matters. It's a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries movie. This isn't witty banter and constant fireworks from the dialogue and this undeniable romantic chemistry. This is two actors who are their relationship feels very lived in and very real, and they're dealing with a situation where you get beauty in the ashes. And so for me, Caroline Rhea's wonderful. The spirit of foster care and adoption is incredibly wonderful in this movie, and it needs to be on this list. This is one of those movies that, for me, best is not favorite. If you ever listen to any show that I do, people think best is favorite, and it drives me nuts. Like, the best movie necessarily isn't the one I want to watch over and over again. And so I argued with myself on this, because this kind of is like one of my fave Nina movies, because I just think there's so much about it that's like a warm hug for me. Is it belong in the top 4 or 5? I don't, from a best standpoint, I don't think so, but you could talk me into it because it's one of my faves. I love this movie. I'm thrilled I get to talk about it. Mrs. Miracle Christmas.
So, Erin, you've been on the show long enough to know that this game is designed to crush your dreams and ruin friendships. Dan just made a beautiful speech.
That's right.
Very heartfelt.
Yeah.
Dan showed so much vulnerability there.
That's right.
And he's very authentic.
I'm right here.
Uh-oh. Pull out the fanny pack, Erin.
So actually, Dan, I love that you played this movie. I hate that you didn't play it higher.
Okay.
I'm probably going to be a little bit vulnerable too. Try not to cry. So for me, I can't have kids. And my ex-husband wanted kids. And after 16 years together, we got divorced for this reason. So this movie spoke to me on a really deep level. And I had it at number 1, but I'm not going to veto it for that reason, because it is so personal. So I admire everything that the story said. I hope to one day maybe eventually be able to adopt. But that scene when she goes to him and she's like, maybe this just isn't going to work. And he chose her, and then it chose a way for it to work. I didn't get that. And that's heartbreaking, but beautiful to see on a screen. So I wish it was higher, but I think it's definitely deserves a place on the list. So
Erin, I love you. Giving you a big hug. Thank you for sharing that story.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't mind the big sad. So I was very okay with it.
Erin, you're the best. Thank you. I know that you're just in an impossible situation, and I empathize and sympathize as much as possible. And I love you. That was wonderful. And I'm sorry I didn't play it higher. And I also, Lynn's over here trying to negotiate. Yeah, trying to negotiate a very special episode of Hallmark Movie Drafts at this
Yeah.
point.
Right.
In our Hallmark universe, like we all know what movies we're making, Erin. We all know that like a lot of the time we're making fluff, and hearing your story and hearing that something that I wrote spoke to you and helped you and touched you, that makes me feel like I'm doing something that matters. And I want
You
to
are.
thank you for sharing and for being vulnerable and for sharing that with me because that really touches me. I feel like sometimes, is it resonating? Are we doing anything? Like, yeah, we're not curing cancer, but we try to tell stories that touch on the human experience. And the human experience is not always light and fluffy and fun. I have some
Exactly.
friends who did foster to adopt and it did not go well. And they had to give back children they thought were going to be their forever babies.
Mhm.
And thank you for sharing that. That really touches my heart. And I'm so sorry for what you're going through. And I just want to give you a hug and wish you like the
Oh,
best on your journey.
thank you. I appreciate that. It's, it's figuring out where we go from here. I mean, we got divorced 3 years ago, so it's not too fresh. We've moved on, but to see it on screen, I was like, oh wow, this took me right back. But you did a beautiful movie, Nina. I loved it.
Mm.
It is a beautiful movie, and you never know where someone is in their personal life and in their own journey and how something is going to hit you. I mean, I think some of us were together a couple of years ago with the movie where the mom was, Dan, what was it? The mom was dead.
Oh,
And
Take
her-
Me Back to Christmas or For Christmas.
And I
Yeah.
know me and a couple of others because of, where we were with our moms and their health journeys. We're just like, okay, gotta leave the room
Yeah.
now. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So Sarah,
You could be a monster, Sarah. You ready?
Sarah, you haven't been on in a
No
couple of
pressure,
years.
Sarah. No
and,
pressure at all.
Well, I
Never-
will say that y'all have talked me up from it being at number 31 on my list. What I wrote was, I hate being told to cry.
Mm.
Mm.
And for me, that like I cry easily at movies, and sometimes Debbie Maycomer can come in real ham-fisted and just be like, "This, do you feel sad? Because I will make you feel sad. It's a little, I'll make you feel." And so, but that being said, I really appreciate what you guys all shared, and yeah, no, I will not be vetoing this pick at number 7.
But can we also just talk about Paula Shaw for a minute?
Oh, the best.
National
good.
treasure,
She's
Paula
been in
Shaw.
3 of my
times?
movies. She's played my grandmother 3
Yeah.
times.
She's amazing.
I love
Yeah.
that woman.
Every time she
But-
showed up on screen, I was happy.
I
Same.
spent time in Mexico with her on another movie that I don't know if it's gonna make the list, but I love Paula. I think Paula is the real deal.
She
Yeah.
looks like she just has some incredible energy around her.
Yeah.
I mean, just
So wonderful. I call her
Yeah.
my Paulita because when
I love it.
first time I met her, it was in Mexico, and she calls me Ninita.
I love it.
Sweet.
That's
Amazing.
adorable.
Oh my
Amazing.
gosh. All right. Debbie Maycomer's A Mrs. Miracle Christmas is at 7 for Dan.
Oh my gosh, we're only at 7.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
like I
No,
said,
wait.
my kids, I'm good for like 9 or 10 more hours.
I'm good. My husband's home. My kids are, I don't know, maybe they're eating, maybe they're not. I don't know. They're old enough to find food.
Hey, and as long as we keep it under 30 hours, we're good to go. We're good to go. All right, let me do a state of the list before Erin tells us what she's going to give us at number 6. So at 10, we've got two for the win. At 9, Flip That Romance. At 8, Lucky in Love. At 7, Debbie Maycomer's A Mrs. Miracle Christmas. And at 6, Erin Rempe. What do you think?
This is when it gets hard. This is when
Yeah.
gameplay comes into play, right? So all the tears aside, we're gonna go with "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" with Italia Ricci and drawing a blank.
Ryan Pavey.
Ryan Pavey.
Ryan Pavey. Thank you. Yes.
Ryan Pavey.
So when I watched this movie the first time, I feel like Dan is short
Dan
circuiting right now.
doesn't know what movie you're talking about, or he's having a seizure right now. I'm not sure.
He's seizing.
Aaron,
It's a seizure.
It's
Oh
okay.
no.
Erin, you stick to your guns. Do not let him influence you in any way.
So
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can turn my video off if you want.
no, you're good. So, full disclosure, first time I saw this movie, I was like, what the heck? I was not a fan. The second time I watched it, I was much more into it. I think Italia Ricci is fantastic. We don't get enough of her on the network. There is that amazing kiss between the two of them. Maybe it's because of the trying to find love, and that was the whole healing from that is so important. I still don't know how the program actually worked. I wouldn't know
Yeah.
how to do the actual
Yeah.
boot camp. But do I think that there were some tidbits to take away from it? Yes. Do I think they had chemistry? Absolutely. I think there are plenty of fun little one-liners, and banter between the two of them was great. So it surprised me and it snuck up on my list. So, all right, Dan.
All right. So you've got your breakup boot camp thing happening.
Which
I
was the
agree.
original title of that movie when
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
sold the producers sold it, brought it to me. They were like, we sold it on concept, brought it to me to come up with a story, and it was called Breakup Boot Camp. And there's a woman in New Jersey that has trademarked her business called Breakup Boot
Of
Camp,
course.
not let us use that title.
Wow.
Wow.
Such a bummer.
Crazy.
Because like what title is more perfect than Breakup Boot Camp?
Plus, that would have been like
Absolutely.
free marketing for her too, right?
Bummer.
Like
I know that's what I would think. You
Yeah,
would
yeah.
think hers is. I want to say, and I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it like has to do with like a lot of sexual
Ooh.
like awakening and things like that. And she didn't want, or maybe I don't know if we didn't want to be associated. I don't. I'm not privy to all of the discussions, but I was like, Breakup Boot Camp, the best title.
It's
They
a
pulled
great
it on
title.
concept because it's such a great title. Anyway,
And
go
Erin,
on.
you're right. Like the banter, I like this script and I love the concept and I love Natalia Ricci. And I'll
Yeah.
just stop there because I think Dan can say the rest for me. Dan?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Lay it out there, Dan.
So
I want to see
I'm
if I'm in agreement on
I'm real
the dance.
pissed off that I vetoed the dance movie. That was a mistake. Because this movie is bad. First of all, the boot camp doesn't make sense. I get the feeling this is one of these things in the Hallmark world that you have 84 minutes and to explain like therapy, guys, like this is kind of like therapy. And the idea that there's an end date is crazy. The idea that a guy that looks like Ryan Pavey is like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll go to break up boot camp. That is crazy. The idea that someone like who looks like Italia Ricci is running this breakup boot camp is insanity. I couldn't listen, guys. I went to this Christmas in a small town in Dahlonega 2 weeks ago. And sometimes you see Hall stars and you're like, oh, they're little bitty fellas. Like they're like 5'6", 5'7". Ryan Pavey is hotter in person. He is he is like his attractiveness, it is crazy. Italia Ricci, same boat. I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy any of it from these two. The structure of the boot camp, how seriously I'm supposed to take these activities, which felt for the movie, they felt very half-baked. And Pavey being in this camp, none of it. I'm in a real pickle here because this is like now we're talking about movies that I really do think belong on this list and
Yeah.
don't go
And
breaking my heart.
remember Pavey's character, he was an investigative reporter. So he
That's
was
right.
there to see is
That's
she
right. That's
is she
right.
the real deal or
That's
is
true.
she not the real deal?
To be fair, I've not watched this movie since we watched it to record. This is,
I have some things to say when Sarah's done.
please do. And
I have some things to say.
the only way that I'm able to compete on this is I look at the movies I've watched and I rank them based upon my one viewing. So like I don't get the benefit of what Erin got, which is maybe if I watch this again, I would, have a different take on it. And but I do get the benefit of going into a movie like if Lucky in Love came out during Deck the Hallmark, I probably would have been like, what are we doing? April Fool's movie. But watching it the way I watched it, I got this kind of very refreshing take on it. So I do think context matters with a lot of these. Sometimes my takes are so scathing because I'm watching a movie at 7:30 in the morning after a long night. When my kids were younger, it was like they're waking up 3 times, and then I came in, and at 7:30 I watched a movie that everybody loved, and I'm like, this sucks. So context matters. I did forget that aspect of it. I just never, it never really coalesced to me for,
You have a veto.
I know I have a veto, but I also know that I only have one more pick. So
Yeah.
like I've got to make the most of that. And I've mentioned this on the show. I don't make any bones about my strategy. I don't try to keep it secret. Your vetoes are more helpful at the back of the list than the front. That's the way to win the game is you use your vetoes early, because that's when you can get your movies on the list. And then once you get to the top, it tends to be about jockeying for position. This is out of left field for me. I did not anticipate, and I anticipated a lot of possible movies that I have written down over here to talk about that aren't on my list, that I have written down that I'm like, somebody's going to play this, and I have some good things to say about this. I did not think in a million years we'd be talking about Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So that's where I am with it. I'm not going to veto it.
Dan's not going to veto it. So, Sarah, basically, he's leaving it up to you. Let me just say
Yeah.
this. Ryan Pavey has 17 movies. I cannot tell you how many times someone has said, Lynn, can you do a Ryan Pavey draft? Can you do a Ryan Pavey
Is there a
draft?
top 10 that
You're
you
not
can-
going to ask me to come on that draft. I can tell you that.
I'm not asking anybody. The only person who said, I'll do that draft.
Yeah.
I think Kate,
Aaron.
you said you
There-
would do it. No,
there it
Kate
is.
said she would.
Looking at that man for 2 hours, like it's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh,
Like,
listen.
he's not a great actor. We all know this.
When he was on our show, he was like, after we finished talking, he was like, guys, I memorized the lines and I just say them. Like he said that to me. It is what it is. But I mean, I can attest to the fact that guy walks in a room and you're like, damn, like, oh my
Really?
goodness. Yeah.
I mean, I believe it. And
Well, maybe he shouldn't have burned
Yeah.
his bridges with Hallmark. I don't know.
Kate, I would join you on that draft.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I do it.
Don't. I can't. I just
And the
go,
audience
Sarah.
absolutely loves him. They
Mhm.
don't care
They
if
don't.
like if he's a thespian or not.
No.
They are just drooling over him.
But are they mostly like General Hospital people that have
It might be. Is that what he
gravitated
was on?
over?
He's like a
Yeah,
soap guy,
he's
right?
like a
Yeah.
soap guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't watch soaps, so I don't know. But I mean, used to when I was like a teenager. I watched Days of Our Lives, but that was
Right. Right.
I
Right.
have no idea. Like
Oh,
maybe
Sarah.
maybe that is why they love him. I mean, he's stunning.
Sarah, are good
two
looks
vetoes.
All right,
enough
Sarah,
to
no
keep this
pressure.
on the list when you
Again.
have two
No,
vetoes left?
I will veto this. There's no way. I wrote down Italia and Ryan are both just stone in this. Italia Ricci,
Yeah.
I've watched like some of her Instagram stuff, and that woman, she has a sense of humor, she's
Mhm.
clever, she's all kinds of
Mhm.
stuff, and not in this movie. I feel like the movie rose and fell mostly on the leads for me. The investigative reporting side of it, I've been listening to a lot of culty stuff lately, and all I got was like, oh yeah, Elgats. He's trying to figure out if this is the new Nexium. He's trying to figure out if this is the new landmark. This is a guy who's going, oh, you're trying to sell a product to people who are vulnerable? Like, I get that. And well done for checking that out, and she shouldn't be nearly as offended as she is because you're selling people a product. But yeah, no, I will veto this on this list. Sorry, Erin. Love
Sarah,
you.
Sarah vetoed this, Erin, while you're thinking of it. Don't go breaking my heart, Nina. Anything you want to share about this movie or
So-
when it was made, how it was made?
Here was my struggle with writing this movie. I came up with a take and a boot camp that was a lot of emotional growth. I've been in therapy my whole life. Like I know what therapy is. I know how to heal. I know what you do. They were like, it's too cerebral. We need it to be active. And I'm like, how the F do I do that?
Yeah.
So
fair.
I had to pull this one out of thin air to figure out how do I make the things that I want to accomplish activities. It was really hard
Okay.
and they were happy with it, but it was also, this was another one. It was the height of COVID. I couldn't go. If they wanted them to kiss, they each had to rinse their mouth out with some like you know battery acid before they kissed each other. I don't know what they did, but because it was COVID, there were so many things. People had to be like 6 feet away from each other at all times. There were all these restrictions. The director was Terry Ingram, who's class act, top notch. There were so many struggles making a movie during COVID and trying to make a movie about a sort of cerebral event that was activities. It was really hard. But I thank you, Erin, for loving it.
Hey, she could have played that just to get a veto out and was just nice about it. We don't know. We don't know.
You'll find out.
We will. We don't know yet. We don't
We
know
don't know
yet.
yet. All right,
Yeah.
Erin.
I also, this wasn't one of mine that I was like, oh, that one will never get on any list. This was not one of those. I have a few of those, but this was not it. And we're not going to talk about those on camera, the ones that I think were like, eh.
But off camera, we're
But I
doing
got a
it.
few
We're
of
doing
those.
it. All right, Erin, what are you going to replace it with for number 6?
We're gonna play Love at First Dance again.
That got vetoed at 9, so Erin's going to play it at 6. Love at First Dance. Dan?
This is a much better choice. I mean, who are we kidding? This is a much better choice. Costumes and music alone. Are you kidding me? We made such an upgrade here, gang. Like we worked together. Sarah Kokulis Davis is a real one. This is a win for humanity, is what this is. This is a humanitarian effort. We all won just now. We all won at pick 6.
But you wasted your veto.
Yeah, I did. No. Listen.
Never a waste.
It's going to
Never
cost
learn.
me. I can tell you because Erin still got 2 picks left, and the fact that I vetoed this is on the list is going to cost me. And I stuck too close to a rule that it should have been more of a
I
suggestion.
wasn't thinking that there was actual strategy.
Oh yeah.
Flushing out vetoes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
best
yeah.
part of it. That's
Remember,
why I
I
love
was
it.
just
It's
like a
Exactly.
straight shooter. Okay.
No.
There's
But that-
points. There's
Yeah.
points. There's bonus points
Okay,
involved. You
great.
gotta-
Let's
there's
do
a lot
this
going
then.
on.
I gotta
Drinking my wine and I'm gonna watch you fight it out on my career.
that's perfect. I feel like if I lose, I can lose with Love at First Dance being on the list instead of Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
So Nina, maybe you can see what you can do with Hallmark for their DVD distributions. If there can be Dan's quote that Love at First Dance, this is a win for humanity, should be his review. Because I think that
Yeah.
I think it brought a lot of people together.
I think it did.
There you go.
Right.
I
There you
think
go.
it did. All right. So yeah, Dan's fine with it. Sarah? You have one veto left.
I will say this was not one of my favorites. Not at all. My quote here was like, how close can we come to cheating without actually cheating? Hallmark
that.
cheating is amazing. It's rampant. Like it cracks me up. This channel that is espousing like family values and we just want faith and humanity, and then they're like, but also there's another guy. And
That was
isn't
a
it
huge
cute? Like,
struggle with a movie like this, that it can never feel like she is trying to steal someone else's fiance.
yeah. And I just, that one did it for me. And I liked the Lady Baxter. I really liked her, and I thought she really deserved a good guy, which obviously was not Niall. Like, it was like, dude, what are you doing?
I
thought it-
tried to put her and Jason Chermak's character together, but they nixed it. in that
Oh.
movie. I don't
That was
know. I tried to
fascinating.
make it so that they were on the same page.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were on the same page and it was very clear, but they didn't want that.
No, they didn't
Hmm.
want that. It's rude.
Yeah.
That was
And
her
yeah, so-
coworker, right, Nina? Because
Yeah.
For sure. And then the fact
Hmm.
that it was a dancing movie and a wedding planning movie in one was just like, oh,
Yeah,
good.
that's
2 birds,
tough.
1 stone. But yeah, so
Yeah.
it was lower on my list, but I'll let it go. It's good.
I feel like Sarah and I may have the same list, and so I feel like maybe I should have vetoed it.
No, I'm pretty sure there's one on my list you would have hated.
I don't know. I got one wild card up here.
All right, Sarah, number 5. Let's hear it.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna go with The Last Bridesmaid. I love this movie. I watched it when it first came out, and I don't know that it was Paul Campbell's first movie, but I feel like it was close to it. It was one of his earlier ones. I rewatched it tonight, and I was still laughing out loud at some of the wit. Rachel Boston, as far as I can tell, just elevates every movie she's in. And God, her dresses, the woman, good, the way she just wears everything. I loved it. So yes, I will be playing The Last Bridesmaid.
The Last Bridesmaid, 2019. Rachel Boston is Becca. Paul Campbell is Kyle. Becca's always a bridesmaid, but at her cousin's wedding, she bonds with Kyle, the videographer, covering every stage of the planning. Perhaps she won't be the last woman standing for long. This was ranked number 8 in June's Rachel Boston Top 10 draft. They've got great chemistry, the snappy dialogue that Nina is known for. This movie is so much in Paul Campbell's wheelhouse of comedy and charm. So, yeah, The Last Bridesmaid at number 6. Dano?
Yeah, I watched what I felt like was about 6 Nina wedding movies in a row. That's what, and I think I was a little burnt out here. The dialogue is undeniable in this movie. The dialogue is the star of the show. There is not a better match for the snappy dialogue of Nina than Paul Campbell. I know she loves Niall. Niall's really easygoing. So it's a contrast of styles that sometimes actually works really well. Paul is a writer. And, this was before he was writing for Hallmark. I'm pretty sure this is like early, like after Window Wonderland. We didn't cover this movie initially, so I watched it this week. And early on, I liked this movie, even though I feel like I had seen too many wedding movies at this point, and there are some 27 Dresses vibes. And Hallmark also did this thing where it's, let's put our best writer on making What Happens in Vegas for Hallmark or whatever. I got tired of it, I think. But early on, I really dug it. And that was my note on this is early on, there's a few really fun scenes where Paul's holding the camera, but there's a mirror and you also see him and he's delivering this dialogue, and Boston gives as good as she gets. I was in between this and another wedding movie to scratch my list. And now I'm upset I didn't put this one. It was literally, I talked about it with 2 other people that had seen both movies. And I went, which one of these you think is going to be on this list? Which one? Because I wanted to pick the one that I thought would be on the list, because that's how this works. You get more points. And so I flipped a coin. I literally flipped a coin. So this was 11 on my list. But at this point, I've got 1 pick left, and we're clearly choosing chaos, because there are some movies here with just some scenes, guys, that we have to talk about. And we got 4 picks left and we hadn't talked about them. And that's crazy.
Yeah,
So
you have 4 picks left.
yeah,
There are 2 Austin absolutes. I haven't seen either one of them on the
Oh,
list
I
yet.
have,
So
I have 4 that I think
you have
if
4
the-
Dans.
I
Yeah.
have Dan's definites, as we call
Dan's
them.
definites.
I have 4 movies
Oh.
that if these movies aren't on this list, I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know
out of
why we're
runway.
doing this, because I just can't. And this isn't one of them. Having said that, like,
Wait,
I was just going to say,
So-
Erin,
Oh.
I want to apologize to
Yeah,
you
that's
because
okay.
you were up first.
that's okay. I just don't want Dan to like play something
No.
or whatever. I actually am in the very same boat as Dan. I didn't know which one of the movies for the bridesmaids or the wedding movies to put on the list either, but I don't want to burn my last veto on it. I'm gonna let it slide so Dan can be the
Alright.
one to make the decision.
cool.
You're
welcome.
I feel like at this point I have a better chance with a veto later on getting a movie on the list that I want. I always end up starting these things with a veto, and contrary to popular belief, I don't try to save them. I try to use them every week, every time I do this.
No, Brian saves his.
Brian is just he's just like,
hoards
oh,
them.
he's just in a corner over there with his vetoes.
Vetoes.
Let's I do, like, part of me kind of wants to see this movie on the list because I Rachel Boston doesn't get the play she used to on the network, and I don't know. I don't bet maybe that's her choice. And she's just such a sweet individual. And I love Paul as a writer dearly. Like every time he writes a movie, I'm here for it. I kind of miss this Paul where we don't expect the funny and he gets to come in and just almost Sorkin level you to death. And that is the early scenes of this movie really do have that. Yeah, let's leave it here. Let's leave it here.
Wow. Okay. Did not see any of that coming. I think Kate's as surprised as I am. Like, we're just remember this pick, people, when we get to our final analysis.
Oh, we're about to go nuts here
This
because
is crazy.
the last four have to be on here and they're not going to be on here and it's
I have
insane.
so much to say. So nobody's vetoed it?
Nope,
No,
it's
it's
on.
staying.
Oh, okay.
It's on at number 5, The Last Bridesmaid.
I have so much to say about this movie.
Go for it.
I came up with this title and said, this is a great title for a movie. Rachel Boston and I were pitching Love at First Dance and Last Bridesmaid, hoping they'd buy one. They bought both.
Nice.
Rachel ended up producing one and starring in one. And I wrote that part for Paul Campbell. Paul Campbell and I have been friends for a lot of years. And I wrote it for him. Every male lead that I write with Paul Campbell's cadence in my head.
Makes
Because
sense.
he's so brilliant at that rhythm. And this stuff is written with a rhythm. And some people get it, and some people do not, who have been discussed already tonight, but will not name names, do not know how to banter. Paul Campbell, this was written for him. And I said to our producer, this has to be Paul Campbell. He'd only done a handful, maybe 2 or 3 movies for the network at this point. I said, this has to be Paul Campbell. So Paul and his family were living in LA at the time. They're back in Canada now, but they were living in LA at the time. We saw them a lot. Our kids played together. They would come over, we'd go over there. And my producer called me and he said, okay, the offer went out to Paul Campbell. And I said, can I say something? Because he's literally on his way to my house right now. And he said, yes, you can say something. So I talked to him about it. Rachel Boston also, now she lives in Tennessee, but she also lived here. And she's one of my closest friends. We've done a bunch of movies together. I adore her. We have more stuff that we're cooking up together. And she lived in LA at the time. She's like, I just got out of yoga class, but I'm coming over. She came over and we all celebrated that night. This is, and I know I'm not supposed to say it, but since it's already locked in, this is my number 1. And it's my number 1 because everything happened the way that I wanted it to happen in my head. I wrote it for Rachel Boston and I wrote it for Paul Campbell, and they both were actually in it. And Mark Jean, our director, everything was exactly what I wanted it to be. The experience of making this movie with my 2 very dear friends was incredible. I'm very close with the producers. It's my number 1 because of the whole big picture. And I love how the movie came out.
Well, I'm glad
All
it's on there.
fabulous reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
But I know I'm
great.
not supposed to say like my list.
No, you can
Perfect.
say it. You can say it.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
Paul
keep drinking
Paul
more wine.
Campbell, when he's being like the charming and witty and all the banter. My favorite Paul Campbell movie, this is one of them, but Surprised by Love,
I
which is
love
from
that movie.
2015.
so
Just
good in
watch
that.
it
When
constantly.
they let
Just so
Paul
good.
Campbell be Paul Campbell and sometimes they don't.
Yep.
Sometimes, and this is, again, years ago, they would go plug in actor here.
Yeah.
And he didn't get to go full Paul Campbell. I think because they've written the Wiseman movies, they wrote it for Paul, for Andrew, for Ty. They get to be who they are. That's what I try to do when I'm writing for specific talent.
Yeah.
Love
Right
it.
to
Well
their
done.
strengths. Like let's not plug in actor here. Let's write to their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. Erin, we are at
Erin.
number Erin. We're at number 4, Erin. No pressure. We're at a runway here. Let me tell you that Dan
doubt.
has Dan has a veto and a veto override. You have a veto and a veto override. Sarah has a veto. There's still a lot of game
My
and
God,
strategy
this is
here with
intense.
only 4 more
It's so
movies.
much
Now
fun.
remember, Nina, what's gonna happen is they're gonna get 1 point for every one of their movie titles that makes it
That
onto the
made the
final
list.
list, that make
Any
lists. They
position.
get any position. They get an extra point if those titles are in the same ranked position as on their
Okay,
personal
so if you
list.
picked it as 6 and it makes 6, then
You get 2 points.
gotcha.
Yep. So, Erin, what
All
do you
right.
think?
Let's go with a 2022 movie called Just One Kiss with Krista Rodriguez and Santino Fontana. So, this movie is not your typical Hallmark movie. You have ghosts, you have singing and dancing in the best ways. You have a woman who
They're
is
ghosts?
What?
yeah,
They're
right?
ghosts?
I know.
I can't do this. Does
Hold
Nina
on,
know
what?
this?
They're not
Nina?
ghosts.
They are
What?
ghosts. The
The
two
mothers?
Moms.
The
The
moms
moms?
are.
Yeah,
the-
but the characters aren't ghosts.
No.
Yeah.
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 No, I
So
had no
it-
idea watching it that they were
I did.
ghosts.
Which is crazy.
Wait, who knew that they were ghosts?
I
Sarah,
did.
you know?
Who knew?
At the
I
very
did
end.
You suspected they were ghosts?
the whole time. And then when we recorded the episode, one of the co-hosts, Panda, I believe,
Yep.
still when we were recording the episode, still didn't realize they were ghosts.
Even
I'm a
after they
panda.
were like,
Even after the big
I wish
reveal.
my mom was here to meet you and
Yes.
you're still
Yes.
alive.
Even
Yeah.
when you explicitly said it, he didn't grab it. He didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Panda. We love
That's
Panda.
not on you.
No,
Yeah.
it is not.
All right. Keep going,
Yeah.
Erin. Just one kiss. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't get it until the very last scene either with like the white light, but I was watching it with my now boyfriend and he got it within 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay. So, anyways, I thought the movie was very sweet. I also really liked how she kind of made him work for it. She was trying to heal. She was still, I think, on the cusp of getting divorced, or she had just gotten divorced. I loved having Opal from One Calls the Heart in there as her daughter. And I just thought that I liked the way that their relationship was organic and it grew. They were able to spend time together, actually connect on an intellectual level. And it just felt very organic as the movie progressed. This had Maddie in it, as we spoke about earlier. He's fantastic. Loved him in every single scene he was in. Let's get him as a main character, as Lynn said before. But really, honestly, it's just one of the best movies I think that has ever been on Hallmark.
Dan, you're first up.
If you were, we would never do this here because there's too many movies, but if you were to rank the non-Hallmark Christmas movies, this is a top 3 all-time non-Hallmark Christmas movie. This movie's amazing. It's not Hallmark good, it's good. Santino Fontana, fantastic. Krista Rodriguez, fantastic. An actual subtle twist that is very well hidden in a Hallmark movie, fantastic. Scenes in a movie theater, fantastic. Stuff outside the apartment building, fantastic. Matty Finocchio, fantastic. It's perfectly paced, excellently delivered, and an amazing script. I had it higher. It had to be on this list. It had to be in the top 4. It is. That's all I care about. This is the lowest I've ever scored in one of these drafts, and I don't care because we're 1 for 1 where it matters. Just One Kiss, a great movie. Got to be on the list. And if Sarah vetoes it, that's totally fine. Because I got an override and we'll figure it out.
Because he's got it right. He'll figure it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just One Kiss. We've got a Don't Make Me Sing draft coming up, which is
Ooh.
when one of the two leads, at least one of the two leads, has to be singing in the movie, not just as an over musical cue or anything like that. And this is on the eligibility list for sure. Sarah, oh my God. How you
Yeah,
doing over there? 4 a.m., Sarah?
It's we're good. It's I don't have
good?
to wake up tomorrow morning. It's amazing.
That's fine. Friday's
That's
a day off
good.
for everybody,
It's,
you know?
well,
is
it is
for me.
where I work because you go in Monday through Thursday and you get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
Nice.
Perfect.
This is a great movie. I had it a little higher. I'm not upset with it at being at number 4. I loved this movie. It was fantastic. There's nothing I can just ditto what everybody else already said. So many good things. I love the singing. And that's like, I'm not typically let's put on more singing songs. But no, this was great. This was a fantastic movie. All good things.
Sarah's good. Nina, Just One Kiss.
This movie, this is one of my all-time favorite. I was so happy to be invited to the table on this one because this was a rewrite. It was a spec that they sent to me that they loved the concept, but it just wasn't quite working. And so the story of lounge singer, divorced mom, and the mothers orchestrating it were what I took and went with.
That's so cool.
And
Wow.
the dead mothers orchestrating it, and then basically came up with this story for it. I am a ridiculous Broadway nerd. So for me to have Santino Fontana and Krista Rodriguez in a movie, that is my mothership. I went to New York. I saw both of them when I was there because again, COVID, our director on day 2 got COVID.
Oh God.
He had to direct via remote for a couple days. They didn't replace him. I couldn't go up to set. I was devastated. Like I finally got like Broadway people in my movie and I can't go. So I went to New York. I saw both of them. This was to me, it was so important to me that I wanted people to go back and rewatch it and go, wait a minute. She's apartment hunting, like that kind of stuff. Like I wanted these moments where you go back and go, wait, her mom was with her. And then you realize that they never actually interact. The mom is commenting on the light and this and that. Or that he's sitting there going, Mom, what do I do? And the mom's going, you do this. But Aida Turturro is sitting in the chair, but she's not really there. She's answering him, but he doesn't hear it. Like I really wanted, and I rewatched The Sixth Sense,
Yeah.
how they did that when I was rewriting this movie, because it was a page 1 rewrite. A page 1 means that you're keeping some stuff, but for the most part, it's completely going to be different. And it was a great, great concept. And they sang live. And that was one of the greatest things they could have done because you've got these like they added a song for Krista because our director Jeff Beasley was like, you're gonna have Fred Astaire in a movie and he's not gonna dance. Like, of course you add this song, even if it's a dream sequence where Krista Rodriguez is singing, because these are Broadway royalty. And it is so different. It to me felt like a feature film. It did not feel like a Hallmark movie. I was so incredibly proud to be a part of this film. I think it is so special and so spectacular. And it's one of my favorite kisses in a movie where he twirls her around and she grabs him in a kiss. I love this movie so much.
It's a
And
great movie.
I felt like this has to be on the list.
Yeah.
Because I think
Absolutely.
it's so special and so different. And our network executive at Hallmark, Aisha Francis, is very fantastic. And she was the executive on another of my favorite movies that I know is going to be on this list. She just finds these diamonds in the rough and makes these really special, unique movies that are on brand, but very unique.
I love it because when Julie was on, she was talking about how a few of her movies have Broadway talent in them and they
Yes.
didn't get to sing. And she's like,
Yeah.
what are
Yes,
you-
she had Derek Klena, she had
Yes.
Jenna
Laura
Claire, she
Osnes, yeah.
had
Yeah, Laura Austin,
Aaron
yeah.
Tveit. Like,
Yeah.
You know, she had
like,
everybody. Like,
how
what's
do you
going
have
on?
Aaron Tveit in a movie or Laura Osnes in a movie and they don't sing?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned Sixth Sense because I didn't realize Bruce Willis was dead either. So I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I wanted to do that sort of feel. I wanted people to go back and rewatch and go, wait a minute.
It's
Yeah,
really well done.
exactly.
Very
Really well
cool.
done. I actually think this is criminally low. I mean, like I know that 4 is really high praise, but I mean, it's a great movie.
Dan, while you think of number 3, Kate, you and I know what's going on here. We see the list. What did Did you like Just One Kiss? Did you know that the moms were dead before you got to the end?
I did. I didn't get it right at the beginning because, like what Nina was saying, when they're looking at the apartment and stuff, upon rewatch, I realized what was going on, obviously, but like it was so well done, just like Sixth Sense, and it's so cool that you say that you rewatched that to help with this movie. That's amazing. I also got a shout out. Ileana Douglas is just amazing.
And
Like
my
just
whole
I
life,
get it.
people have
Like,
told me that I look like her.
oh,
So
You do?
people have told me that I look like her. So I told her that because I've been in touch with her, just like table reads and things like that. Um, and I was like, I think she is phenomenal. And Aida Turturro too. That was like,
no,
I
she was
don't know how we
amazing.
afforded that cast, but
She's in some amazing movies. So it's so I
Really
love
good.
when people like that pop up in Hallmark. It's so great. And that I bet it's because the script was so good that she decided to do this. Like so cool.
That's great. Okay, Dan, this is your final pick for the list, number
oh boy,
3.
Dan. Here we go. Double holiday, Dan.
It kind of sounds like
You're gonna
Just
have to
One
get the fingers got to be crossed
Kiss.
real tight for that
Yeah,
one.
something's got to be crossed.
I don't. I literally have 3 avenues of strategy here, and I don't think how this has gone has favored me. And that's I've had the best time because this draft could go anyway. I want to talk about this movie. I'm gonna go with a movie from 2012 starring Kelly Martin and Ethan Erickson uh, called "I Married Who." Um, this is this is a little movie that I watched 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago, right before I sent my list over to Lynn, 4:45. In the first 20 minutes, true story, I almost turned it off. uh, I said, "This is 2012. I saw a movie in I think 2009 with Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher called What Happens in Vegas," and that movie was bad. And this movie has a woman go and get her drink switched in a perfectly normal way where her friend's supposed to have the alcohol and she gets the alcohol and then wakes up in a famous dude's apartment where they have done everything aside from sleep in the same bedroom together. Because Hallmark's like, nah, kid, you can get drunk and get married, but you can't wake up in the same bed with a dude. Hysterical. But then here's what happened, and this is wild, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like, and I could be wrong, every time, Lynn, we do one of these drafts, there's some old movie with Kelly Martin in it. Always. And we watch it, and I go, that Kelly Martin, she's great.
Yeah.
Every time. And that's because she is great. Ethan Erickson also dug him. And all of a sudden, I started kind of enjoying myself. And then what happened was that pool scene. That pool scene was like, I couldn't believe it was 2012 Hallmark and they were doing this. And then they kiss in that pool scene, and then he calls her and he goes outside for a say anything moment and he counts to 5 and she's like, nah, B, no. It's a hard no. You're still just playing. And then she counts at the end of that. Are you kidding me? Guys, this was a good time. This movie's a legitimate good time. In the first 15 minutes, I almost turned it off. I had a ball with this movie, and I'm glad I got to talk about it because by the looks of everyone else, it wasn't going to get talked about otherwise. So I married who?
I have a lot to say.
Great.
Oh, wait.
So I married who 2012. You listeners, it's impossible to find this movie on Hallmark.
I almost
It's
didn't watch it. I texted
it's
Lynn. I was like, I can't find it.
and what did I say? I told you. You said I'm texting you. I can't find it, but you told me I had to see this movie,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said,
And
yeah,
I
exactly.
said so it's out there as Always a Bride is the
That's right.
title that
Change
it's
the
out
name.
there on for some
That was
reason.
the original title when I
Yeah.
wrote it.
Huh.
Oh,
we're gonna-
okay. Yeah. This movie is a romp. It is my very favorite Kelly Martin movie. I'm with Dan on this. Every time I think, oh my God, here's a Kelly Martin movie from like 1692. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's great. The movie, Dan, Hello, It's Me, is the one where she's got like,
Oh
she
my
thinks her dead
God. With
husband is talking
Cavan?
through her with
Yeah.
the baby face Kevin Smith and the cell phone,
Yeah.
and her husband is
That movie
outrageous.
has got some legit
That's a
drama
Julie
in it.
movie. That's
Yeah.
Julie's
Yeah.
first Hallmark
That's right.
See? Right?
movie.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. This is a great movie. I don't care what you guys do with it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
so
going to
glad you
talk
played
about
it,
that
Dan.
as soon as I-
Erin, it's up to you, baby girl.
What the hell, Dan? Like,
Hey, even if I lose, I
ugh.
get this out of it. That's all I care about.
Because it's
Did-
like,
Did
are
you watch it? Did you
I-
watch the movie?
no, I watched it. Do I want my time back? Yes.
Oh, I watched it.
Sorry, it was just crazy bonkers. I didn't enjoy it, but I can't tell if Dan is doing this to pull a veto or if he's legit liking this movie. However, I'm not gonna veto it because
Good.
it might screw my list up, and there's movies on here that actually deserve to be in the top 3, not this one. But I'm hoping that Dan is pulling a fast one and either Sarah vetoes it or Dan's list gets even more wrecked than it already is.
Oh, wow, Dan, and you gave her a fanny pack.
That's
Look
right.
at
Can you
me.
believe that?
Well, I mean,
The
my list is
heck?
not doing well either, so
She had the nerve to win the game, Lynn.
how dare I? I'm not going to win
Yeah.
this one, that's for sure.
I don't know.
You threw guitar band into the mix,
Okay. All right.
Sarah.
I'm trying to read Sarah's face right
I
now.
know.
They
Right.
both lost it when I said it, so that made for a fun time.
Yeah,
Sarah
but
looks
Sarah,
unimpressed.
Sarah's got taste. Sarah's
I
got
have
taste.
feelings. When I first saw this movie, when it came out in 2012, I was like, okay, Kelly Martin. My mother used to call her lips because she always talks with her lips so much. And so I can't ever unsee it now. Whenever she's playing, I just watch her lips like this, and it's just like, look at her lips. Anyway, sorry.
She mouth acts.
Never noticed that.
I have to go
Me
back
either,
and watch
man.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
We watched her since Life Goes On.
Oh,
Of
wow.
course.
Yeah. This movie, I hated everyone. There wasn't anyone, and I genuinely mean like there was no one I was rooting for. Like they were all, I was almost sympathetic with her at the beginning. Oh, I guess you got blackout drunk right before you got married, and you married some guy because that's a thing that happens,
As
and,
one
like,
does.
as one does.
And then she gets to say to her fiance, listen, nothing happened.
What?
Nothing
And the
happened.
fiance is made out to be like a horrible human.
Oh, terrible.
And
Yeah.
fair, he kind of is, but
He is,
also he's not wrong. Like
Yeah.
work harder to get it
Yeah.
annulled.
Yeah.
Erin and Sarah, all I hear is stop selling. Say
That's right.
less. I
That's
mean,
right.
come
But,
on.
like, The flip side is, as opposed with a lot of these movies that were like, especially in the Bill Abbott era, where I just fell asleep in the middle of it, this movie captures your attention. Like
This is
you can't
pre-Bill
look
Abbott.
away. You have to know what's going to happen, whether you hate it or not. Like, it's not a case of like, well, I guess I'll casually turn it off. No, I want to find out how bad are they going to get. It's a little bit like watching The Real Housewives. Like it's right there as far as like, what's the craziest thing they're going to do next? So
I just want to
I'm
say, Sarah,
sure.
you said earlier that you really hate how they like flirt with how far someone can go with
Oh, yeah.
cheating. This is
How about
actual
marriage?
cheating.
This
This
Yeah.
is actual
actually
cheating.
cheating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just keep
Yeah.
that in mind.
And that's the part where it was
No.
like, no,
No,
but
they're
you're
married.
actually like, what are we doing? And how is like again, like the fiance is made out to be, and he's an actual jerk, but also he's not wrong. Like you didn't marry someone else
Exactly.
while you were engaged to him. He gets to be mad about that.
I see
So
nothing
I
wrong with
don't-
this movie.
There's a whole story, but we're gonna get to that.
Sarah,
I
are you
know,
going to
and
let
so
this
I
stay?
I think I
Sarah.
appreciate the opportunity to talk about it because I wanted to talk about it, and I appreciate that, and I think that's worth a veto. So I'll veto this.
Okay.
But thanks for bringing it up.
Listen, I'm a man of the people. If nothing else, I knew what we needed. I knew what we needed.
This is the first spec script I ever wrote in my life.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Called Always a Bride. I worked from 2000 to 2007. I was an assistant at Lifetime Television in the movie department. And at that time, whenever I had downtime, I wrote scripts at my desk. In between like Libby Beer's office, like answering my boss's phones, then I'm writing scripts. I wrote the script at my desk at Lifetime. I really wanted to write rom-coms. Um, I don't know, maybe I wrote it in 2004, 2005, and then What Happens in Vegas comes out.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
like,
tough.
are you
Dang.
kidding me? I wrote this movie. So when Hallmark was interested, and this is my third movie ever, and this is the movie that got me into the Writers Guild. This was my
That's
first
cool.
WGA script, my third sale ever. When they decided to do this movie, I was like, are you
You sure?
really?
You sure?
Like,
But you're not Lifetime.
great. I'm not gonna tell you no, but really? Like this? So I had to Hallmarkize it. Like, I don't think we changed that. It was so long ago. I don't think we changed that much, but this was written as a like studio feature film. And then making it a Hallmark, they would never make this movie today.
No.
Ever,
No.
ever, ever. This is pre-Bill Abbott. But they liked these high concept rom-coms at the time. So we Hallmarkized it, and I was like, great, I'm in the union. I got another sale. I absolutely adore Kelly. I just saw her a month ago. We had lunch.
Don't tell her what my mother
She's the
said.
best. She's a doll, and we just talk about our daughters. We have her daughter's going to college. Mine's 15, but I love her. Just another experience that was like, great, they're making this movie. But really? It was one of those. And so the fact that it even made the list, it's like those first that was a Larry Levinson movie. So when I
Yes,
first
I
started
saw
at
that.
Hallmark, they had this Larry Levinson deal. So all the movies were Larry Levinson. He has a studio in Simi Valley, which is about an hour away from here. He shoots everything at his sound stages there. So everything's shot here. My husband and I got to go on set. I had three movies: Backyard Wedding, Annie Claus, and I Married Who, which Always a Bride. I will always call it Always a Bride, because when they changed it to I Married Who, I was like,
Yeah, terrible name.
oh my God, Always a Bride. But yeah, they like to change the title and then throw it on somewhere else, and then it's a whole different movie. But yeah, that was my very first rom-com spec script that I ever
Wow.
did.
And it got you into
Unbelievable.
the union, and
I
it
got
should
me.
be on the list for those reasons alone.
I'm not super confident Erin or Sarah's going to play it at 2 or 1, Lynn. I've got bad news for you.
Yeah, I don't, is Lynn trying to get a point? I don't know.
know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I do feel
Uh,
bad for my wish I had my time back comment.
Wait, that
now, Nina.
was
Sorry.
3 or that was 4?
That was
That
was
3.
3.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
That
three.
was
So
3.
so
I can't
Dan,
believe I Married Who got thrown out there at number 3. Like, that wasn't even on my radar. I was like,
it
did
should
I
be
write
number
that?
one, frankly, Dan.
It shouldn't be number 1.
No.
Now
I
we can
think
get to
some people might disagree, Dan. Go
Wait,
ahead.
I have a
Some
question.
people.
Once
Yeah.
we're
Sure.
done drafting, everybody's gonna read their whole
yes.
list. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Because
Yep.
I'm like dying to hear. Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I didn't have to think it's 3 to play it at 3. Like everything I said about the movie I agree with. But now we can get down to business. My next choice is a movie from 2023 starring Italia Ricci and Luke McFarlane. It's called Catch Me If You Clause. Lynn, you can take it from there.
Okay. Straddle kiss. That's all anybody needs to know,
That's all
basically.
anybody cares about.
All that anybody cares. You got Italia's Avery Quinn. She's got a shot at anchoring the news, and she clashes with a Santa-suited intruder. That's Luke McFarlane, who insists he's Santa's son on his very first Christmas mission. They unravel a career-making story together, and they share one of the hottest kisses on Hallmark. This movie was ranked number 6 in our 2023 top 10 Christmas movies of the year draft. Well
was ranked
deserved.
too low that year. Nina has written Christmas movies in 23 and 24 that are beloved, and are gonna go down as classics for a
What did I
lot of
write?
people.
23 and 24. What did I?
Yep.
Yeah.
24. Yeah, you wrote one then. Uh,
Yep.
you'll get there. This this movie, I've seen a lot of Luke McFarlane movies, and the dude is like a mountain of a man. And I think a lot of people write Luke to be like this hunky hunk who's like just out there like a Ryan Pavey kind of character. If you happen to see the movie Bros or the show Platonic, you will know Luke McFarlane, incredibly talented comedic actor.
Yeah.
Better, far better at that than just coming on screen looking good and smoldering. And the guy looks great. Uh, this movie allows him to be Santa Claus's son. Like, first of all, second of all, Italia Ricci is for everything we said about Don't Go Breaking My Heart. We had her on the show. I was mesmerized by her. She was amazing. She's great in this movie. This movie also is one of my favorite things that Hallmark does occasionally, and they don't do it often enough. It's the movie takes place in one night, which I love. I love that.
Has been a fight for
Yeah.
years.
Well, I realize that because there's
Get
a movie
that takes place over the course of one night.
And here's the thing is this year, Robert Buckley and Lacey Chabert did one that takes place in one night that was a big hit. There was a movie before Bill Abbott with Anne Heche in it that it all happens on Christmas. What is it called? I don't remember what it's
Silver
called.
Bells?
All I know is this is we had a screen drafts of the best Hallmark Christmas movies of all time, and I played it. Like top 10 Christmas movie of all time. It doesn't even have a love story. It's like it's literally like all these lives are intersecting in an emergency room, and it's like a screwball comedy, and it's phenomenal. I need to find the name of that movie. And then I feel like after that, they didn't make one. This movie is
one Christmas Eve.
One Christmas Eve. Thank you, Kate. This movie, Catch Me If You Claus, from the time that he gets caught in this house, it just feels like a classic. It just feels like a movie where you buy in. I'm here for Santa magic. If you create it where I buy in, and that can be funny or that can be serious. But if you half-ass Santa in a Hallmark movie, I'm going to be the first person to be like, you wrote a bad movie or you made a bad movie. But if you find that wheelhouse for Santa, you can really make it work. And this guy who takes himself so seriously, getting caught in this house, starting a series of events where he and Italia Ricci are on the run, and there's the straddle session, the car. This is a great movie, and it is really a fun time. And I would nominate it for best Hallmark use of Luke McFarlane, along with just being a really fun movie. Got to be on this list. Got to be top 3. Got to be Catch Me If You Claus.
Well said, Dan. Mic drop. Mic drop. Erin, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I don't really have much to add besides what Dan said. This movie is absolutely fantastic. There were some really great lines in this. When Luke was hungry, he asked for cookies, which I thought was hilarious as Santa. And then at one point, Italia also says, like, why are all the hot ones crazy? Loved it. Definitely not something you would expect to hear on Hallmark, so that was very much appreciated. I loved it. Italia's great. I think I established that earlier when I liked another movie that y'all didn't. But it was great. I loved it. I'm really happy it's at number 3. And yeah, and Kate or Sarah can't veto, so I think we're good.
No,
but I wouldn't anyway. This
Yes.
is an amazing movie.
Yeah. What do you think of this movie, Sarah? You
it's
can't do
great.
anything. It's locked
No,
in.
but I had it. Yeah, I mean it's a top 3 is to put it mildly. Like this movie is just good. And I say that because my husband also watched this one with me and he enjoyed it. So when you can get the people who don't like Hallmark movies to laugh and enjoy a Hallmark movie and go, actually, that was a really good movie. I feel like that's been happening more often. You don't see a lot of the 2012 movies around anymore, but the newer batch are kind of finding that sweet spot between chaos and crazy town and the like warm feels of just a good Hallmark movie. And this one really, I loved it. It's fantastic.
I love that your husband loved it because mine actually, mine will sit down and start looking at a Hallmark movie, and within 3 minutes he's like, yeah, I'm done. Dan, congratulations. You've got it locked in at number 3. You are all done as far as your picks go.
So I have also have a husband who's like Philly sports guy. Like it's all, Flyers and Eagles and
Mhm.
I'm, the Broadway.
Birds.
So I will say it's really hard to get him to like sit down and actually watch and like my movies. He liked Just One Kiss. I want to say about Just One Kiss, they never, ever, ever re-air it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's
Never
cruel.
re-air it.
That's
No idea
crazy.
why. Maybe
So
the
sucks.
ratings weren't good. I don't know.
They might not own it everywhere. I've
They
heard that from a lot of
do
people. They do?
for the network in perpetuity for 100 years. When
Oh
they
my
like
God. Air the
something,
movie.
they get it for 100 years. So they can air it without having to repay. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. It's weird. Catch Me If You Claus, as I said, originally developed for ABC Family. The ABC Family executives, they did a movie years ago called Holiday in Handcuffs.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
Melissa Joan
Creepy.
Hart and
Yes.
somebody
No,
and
Mario
Mario
Lopez.
Mario
Lopez.
Lopez.
Mario
Mario
Lopez. You know this
FBI
movie.
He's an FBI agent and has to take him up. They wanted their new Holiday in Handcuffs. So I came up with the idea for Hostage Santa, and the concept never changed. But and I have a sequel to Catch Me If You Claus that I'm gonna keep trying when our exec gets back from maternity leave. I'm gonna keep trying to push it through. We have a sequel that's fun and different and will feel like a new movie to the point where you don't have to have seen the first movie to enjoy the second movie. Those fantastical sort of magic Santa Claus movies that don't take place with like the reindeer and the North Pole and that whole thing, they do really well. People enjoy them. So I'm really trying, and I have heard that they want a little more of that now. So that's where I'm going to try and push through this sequel and get them to put it into development. But hearing your response to this movie, I feel like it doesn't always have to be the girl coming back to the small town and
That's right.
creating the parade. And somebody said something about the party planning movies. There was a moment in time where we didn't know, like, what else do you do in this moment aside from planning some big Christmas event? We didn't have that sort of freedom
Mm.
to come up with these different stories. Now we do. So I will say this, I will never do another party planning movie again.
Yeah.
I think Erin said that.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm good.
I,
I'm good on the party planning.
hey, I would say this, Nina, you were also ahead of the curve on the big city. Cause like
Yeah.
I was watching old movies and like Lucky in Love, the whole movie takes place in the big city. Like you stay away from that trope fairly regularly too. So it's pretty great.
I'm a big
Great.
city girl.
That's right.
I'm
There
an
you
LA
go.
girl. I'm a big city girl. I want to, it doesn't all have to be small towns. There's like some sort of comfort and fun and warmth and fuzzy of the small town with the gazebo, and there's a place for all of it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Okay,
All right.
Erin, number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is going to be from 2024 with Janelle Parrish and Dominic Sherwood, and it's Haunted Wedding. Again, this is another one that is outside the box and very much appreciated because it's not the typical Hallmark movie. What I really loved the most is we finally got a Halloween or fallish movie at fall as compared to a movie kind of disguised as one. I thought it was really well done. Janelle Parrish is amazing. I love the fact that she's on the network and seeing her kind of go on from that just Mona character that she played on Pretty Little Liars. There was a line in the movie too, where Angelique, the ghost, was very upset, and Janelle's character was explaining it as it was basically grief disguised as anger. So there were so many layers in this movie. It wasn't just them trying to get married. It wasn't just that they were on this ghost hunt, but there was actual layers and depth and grief that other characters were feeling and how people reacted to that. Janelle's character was very empathetic, and Dominic was like, what the heck? Like, let's just get married, or what do we have to do to get the ghosts reunited? Also, great second storyline with the two best friends falling in love was super cute. And I just love the fact that the best friend was plus size too. So it was good to see a little bit of representation on there from that aspect.
Haunted Wedding. Dan, you still have a veto. What do
I'm
you
gonna
think?
veto it. I
Yeah,
got
it
nothing
says-
else to say.
I'm going to use that clip in the promo.
Really?
I'm gonna
Okay.
veto it. I've got nothing else to say.
I know why.
He's
know
got
why,
nothing
too.
else to say. He's got nothing
Yeah.
else to say.
I get it.
I think I don't know. Oh.
Sarah, you have nothing. Okay. Yeah, so it's vetoed. Okay, Erin, you have to pick something else.
So they're both out of vetoes, right?
Correct.
Correct.
No, yes.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
yes. You
Yep.
have a veto for Sarah's number one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have no vetoes. Sarah has no vetoes.
Yep. Just got some overrides left.
So whatever you play,
All right.
here's going.
Yeah, whatever you play.
All right. Well, Haunted Wedding was literally my number 2. So I think we can't have a list without having a Carol for 2 on here. Again, it was beautiful. I don't really know what to say about this movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. Gina was fantastic. Loved their voices. It was my number 5. I don't really have a lot to say. I just thought it was great. It was a fun addition to last year's movies, and it was just another good little twist. I did not sell that very well, but there you go. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. I'm thrown
So-
off by Haunted Wedding not making it.
Well, it just didn't make it a number 2. You never know what
Exactly.
Sarah
No, I get-
might do. So
I get
so a Carol for 2. Who knew, right?
Who knew?
You've got Gina Claire Mason is Violet, Jordan Litz. I mean, my goodness, is Alex. I mentioned at the top of the show when we were talking with Nina about the side character, his cousin who
Brad.
falls in love with Violet. Brad is just a hoot and a half. This was ranked number 3 in our top 10 Christmas movie drafts of 2024. Jeff Beasley directed this. There will be a Beasley draft at some point. I think it's 2027. Just love this movie. You've got Broadway singers singing.
movies. I
Saw that, yeah.
love this man.
Yeah, he is just so amazing. Some of my favorite movies. His filmography is incredible. The Carol for 2 at number 2 is going to stay. Dan, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, this had to be on the list. I think Catch Me If You Clause is a far superior movie to this because I think Catch Me If You Clause is kind of timeless and works for all ages, and it's really fun. I think Carol for 2, the amount you enjoy it depends very much on how much you enjoy Broadway. And I think that that's fine. Every movie doesn't have to be for everybody. I like Broadway just fine. I don't get to go often, but I enjoy it. The idea of going to a restaurant where folks sing during my meal, I don't want any part of it. And I know that's based on a real restaurant. Producer Aaron Shea was very excited to see this movie. If I see live music setting up when I walk in a bar, I just walk out. I also, when I watched this movie, I got a ton of people upset at me. I want to hear Jordan Litz sing all day. As a leading man, I wasn't as taken as everyone else was. I also hated Brad, and Nina and I probably could pull up text messages where we talked back and forth on the character of Brad and kind of the give and take there and what had to be done. And her reasoning made sense. Here's what I will say, because if you had asked me when I signed up for this draft, which was probably like in April, I don't know when you booked me for these, Lynn, like months ago, I would have said Carol for 2's probably at the bottom of the top 10. It kept moving up because the song is an earworm. First of all, it's a very well-made movie that seems to, sometimes we'll say when we review movies, it does what it says it's going to do on the box. This movie delivers exactly what is promised. And I can't fault a movie for that. Do I think Catch Me If You Clause transcends that some more? Yes. Do I think Just One Kiss transcends that more? Yes. But it's undeniable that if you love Broadway, you will love this movie. If you love Christmas and Broadway, it will be one of your all-time favorites. And good luck getting the song out of your head. So I'm happy. It's a top 4 movie for me.
Top 4 movie for Dan, A Carol for Two. Sarah, what do you think of this movie? It's staying at number 2.
I had it at number 11,
Mm.
mostly because I hated Brad so badly.
Yeah, Brad
It really
sucks.
was Brad. The
Brad.
music was phenomenal. The chemistry between the leads was fantastic. But I wanted to kick Brad in the balls hard over and over again. And I
love it.
wanted to kind of smack her around because the minute you find out he has a running tab at the place that you work and he hasn't paid that off, that's when you cut bait. We're just done. Like, that's not a good guy. I don't care what restaurant he's bringing you to. He pays his tab at the restaurant you work at. I didn't like that. That being said, I did write this down. I felt like it was a really tame Coyote Ugly.
Interesting.
That's what it reminded me of, where I was like, or everybody comes and they just sing and they get their start and then they go off and have this great, like, I love that. I like the vibe of the restaurant. It was crazy how everybody was like marginally rude to all the customers. So yeah, I did enjoy it. It was not a bad movie, but Brad made me absolutely lose my mind. Yeah.
I can't believe I talked about that movie and didn't mention Jenna Claire Mason, who I think is absolutely lovely. She was lovely in Julie's movie too. She's great. Just
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, she's
star.
wonderful. I now will not be able to watch that movie without thinking of Coyote Ugly.
Which I'd
so
never
thanks
even
for
thought of.
That
I
was
did
never the
never.
inspiration.
Well, I figured it probably wasn't. I need you to know I've seen Coyote Ugly more often than any person should have in their life. And that connection I made. So I blame myself for that.
So there's a place in Midtown Manhattan called Ellen's Stardust Diner. And aspiring Broadway actors and singers work there. And they dress in very like 60s bouffants, poodle skirts. It's all very, that's how it was originally written. I don't know when it went from poodle skirts to them being in these suits and dresses, and it changed a lot at one point. I don't know who made that decision because I wasn't involved in those decisions, but a theater restaurant where the waiters sing in the theater district of New York City is like my mothership. This did not make my top 10, and I'm going to tell you why. People hated Brad.
Yeah.
Brad was never written to be who Brad was.
Oh.
Brad was written initially as a pilot who only wore his uniform all the time because people were like, he's a pilot and that's cool. And they didn't feel like a pilot meant anything. He was, if anybody remembers the movie Roxanne with
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, yeah.
He was supposed to be this really hot, kind of dumb guy who everybody liked him because he was really hot and beefy. But then once they got to know him, he didn't have the substance that the Alex character had. Jordan Litz, who I could not say enough good things about, this was his very first ever on-camera role. He's the current Fiyero on Broadway and Wicked. He's amazing. He took my kids on a backstage tour. He's the loveliest man in the world. He's got a huge future. He is incredibly talented. Every song that you saw, the harmonies and everything, he arranged all of that.
Wow.
The song End was written by a friend of Jenna Claire. Jenna Claire's very connected in that world. Her friend wrote that Who Knew It Would Be You This Christmas. Jordan did all of the arrangements for the harmonies. And when I watched the dailies of the two of them singing, I was like,
yeah,
that the reason it didn't make my top 10 was because a lot of things changed from my original vision and people didn't like it. Hallmark pulled it off the schedule and hasn't ever aired it since.
That's crazy.
Wow.
First aired.
That's crazy.
But I've heard from so many people that they love it.
And also,
But then
this just shows you Nina knows best.
Duo It aired very early. It aired November 1st, and that's very, very early in the season. I don't know why it's not getting this traction because I hear how much people love it. The fact that it made it this high in the draft, I didn't even put it on my top 10. I freaking love it. But I didn't put it in my top 10 because I thought there's no way anybody's picking it.
Oh no.
No,
We
I
Oh
loved it.
yeah.
Because
in
we
Deck
all
the
loved it.
Hallmark world, in Deck the Hallmark
Hallmark
world,
does
we love this
not
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
stand behind it. It doesn't have that
That's wild.
enthusiasm at the network. And I don't know why. I really wanted to get together with the scheduling person that I know to find out why, because what happened here that you guys pulled it so that I can do something differently next time.
Mm.
So that doesn't happen again, because I think it's a really fantastic movie.
It's great. It was
is.
it was number 3 in the top 10 of the best Christmas
I
movies of
love it so
2024.
much.
Yeah.
Anything Broadway that I got Jenna Claire Mason and I got Jordan Litz and Charlotte d'Amboise. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
know
yeah,
who Charlotte
Charlotte, yeah.
d'Amboise is, but she is Broadway royalty. And I'm like, we got Charlotte. That's a huge deal too.
Fair.
Hallmark
That's
doesn't
great.
know what the hell they're
I
doing.
think we talked about this, Nina, after the movie, but you pitched
We
Brad to me
texted
that
about it.
way, and I was like, that would have really like
I think that the way, because I think that Gino Anania, who is the actor that played him, is a phenomenal
Yep.
actor. I think if they had maybe pulled him back a little, it wouldn't have been so jarring, because every single comment I've seen is that he was too much. I'm not involved in all of that and I'm not privy to that. I see it once it's already been shot. But I think he's so, so talented and so good. But I think that put people off a little bit because they didn't understand what she saw in him, and you had to believe that she really was attracted to him.
yep. And just I didn't buy that.
No, he
Okay.
kept talking about the mouse and the man, or the man and the mouse podcast.
Are you
And
man?
every time he said it, I was like, "Oh, you're the mouse. You look like a mouse, and you are a mouse." Like that is literally like, especially when you put him next to the Jordan, then you were like, "Oh no, you're literally the man
But
and
because
the mouse."
Jordan
Like,
right.
is, so we did this table read, and I did not know Jordan at all. We did this table read, and you know how all the faces pop up on Zoom and you look at it, and he is the most gorgeous specimen of man, and also the sweetest guy. But you look at him and you're just like, oh my God. I mean, there's no contest here. But I think the initial intention was that he was this guy who just couldn't ever quite, Brad was this guy who just couldn't ever quite get it right. But he was really appealing on the outside, but he couldn't ever get it right. But he was a little too bumbling in the execution of the movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed. Yeah.
yeah,
Across the board.
for sure.
But I think he's such a phenomenal actor. It's
Mhm.
like
Oh, absolutely.
he did
Yeah.
such an amazing job. It just didn't quite fit with what we were totally trying to do
What you're
there.
trying to
But
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the criticism that we got.
Well, I hope they get it back on air because
That's right.
there were
think it's
quite
a
a lot of us that loved
phenomenal
it.
movie.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
I still think
Yeah.
it's a phenomenal
Real
movie.
movie territory, as we say, right?
Yeah.
And I really want to
Um,
get Jordan Litz in something else because I think he's just so appealing. He's so likable.
Mhm.
He's so, I mean, the voice is like he's the real deal.
He should be the wingman for Matty Finocchio. I think that would be
I love it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, Maddie gets the girl and Jordan
Maddie
Yeah.
gets the girl.
Yeah.
like
I love it.
And
Adonis
Jordan,
does not.
Jordan's like, what's happening here? Right? Yeah. State of the list so far. At number 10, Two for the Win. At 9, Flip That Romance. At 8, Lucky in Love. At 7, Debbie Maycomer's A Mrs. Miracle Christmas. At 6, Love at First Dance at 5, The Last Bridesmaid at 4, Just One Kiss at 3, Catch Me If You Claus at number 2, A Carol for 2. Kate, you and I have seen their list. This is going to be very interesting.
I mean, when Dan vetoed Haunted Wedding,
I know why.
I know what I chose.
I saw what was going to happen,
Mhm.
and I'm here for it. Sarah,
Sarah, what are you
do
going
the
to
right
say
thing.
at number
Do
1?
the right thing, Sarah.
I think I'm gonna play a movie that I'm pretty sure Dan doesn't have on his list,
Okay.
and
All
that is
right.
Double Holiday.
Oh my
I knew it. I
I
knew
I
it.
love
love
I
this
love you,
knew it.
Sarah.
I
love
know
you.
I know
Knew it.
there are better Hanukkah movies out there. I get that. This was the first one I'd ever seen. I saw it when it first came out. I liked Carly Pope in a little movie she did for ABC Family, and I liked her and Christopher Polaha in this, and yeah, I had it on my list. It wasn't my number one, but it was on my list, and I will play that.
So you've got the Chris Palaha. We're doing Christmas, we're doing Hanukkah. I don't think they did Hanukkah quite the way Hanukkah was supposed to be, but that's
No.
just me. I'm Catholic, but even I knew that that was not Hanukkah, and that's okay.
My Hanukkah. I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
They did something wrong with a prayer or something. Wasn't there one prayer missing or something? I just remember a lot of ruckus.
Oh, there was ruckus, but it wasn't about the movie
it-
itself. But I'll get.
We will get to it.
Alright.
Erin, gonna
Yeah.
do.
I'm gonna veto. I don't have it on my list, and I'm taking a chance here. But simply for that reason, it's strategic. I don't have it, so I'm gonna veto it.
Erin
So-
says, nope, not on my watch. Everybody is out at vetoes. While you think about what you're going to play instead, Sarah, because whatever you play, God help us all, will be the right one.
Yeah. Because I get like I got a
Kate,
veto override. I'm just
Kate,
gonna hang on to.
there's no good exit here, Kate.
I may regret this. We'll see.
Yep.
So, Nina, tell us about Double Holiday. What is it that Dan loves so much about this movie?
I want to say that Dan, when the movie first aired, said that the movie was dog doo-doo, and I remember that year they had Bill Abbott on the
Yeah,
podcast.
this is real
And
bad.
he said that movie and another movie were his least favorite movies of the year. And by the way, that's the last thing that you want the CEO of the company
Yes.
to ever
Yeah.
say, that your movie is the worst of the year. I had 2 that year, but he did not like it at all. And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. I absolutely loved this movie. I loved Chris and Carly. We had a great time up in Ottawa shooting this movie. It was actually very personal to me because I'm Jewish, my husband's not, and I put a lot of our family traditions in it. And the thing that we got that year, there were 2 Hanukkah movies.
Mm-hmm.
One was called Holiday Date,
That's right.
one was called Double Holiday. And we got slammed in the press by some journalists because none of the Hanukkah movies had the word Hanukkah in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got massively slammed. And then someone made an article without ever seeing the movie, slamming my movie. And then Hallmark set me up with Daily Variety, which is one of the Hollywood trade papers. And I did a big interview where we talked about the movie to kind of like get the real story out there of what was happening, because we were getting slammed by people who felt like we were not representing the Jewish culture correctly. And for me, I'm Jewish. Like, I'm going to be as accurate as I can and as representative as I can. So it was unfair because all of this criticism came before anybody saw anything. They just
Yeah.
didn't like the fact, one person, that we didn't have the word Hanukkah in the movie. So anyway, we got a lot of flack that year. And it was right before the S really hit the fan with
Mhm.
the gay marriage ad, and then Bill Abbott got fired. So there was so much like representation flack happening
Yeah.
at that time. And then that was 2019. It aired sometime in November. In January of 2020, Bill Abbott got fired after there was this gay marriage ad that he pulled off the network for some wedding website. So it was a real like messy time as far as representation goes.
Can I talk about Double Holiday? Because since it's not going to make the list, thank God. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody
Aaron,
And I
wants
know
in
you're
on Double
close with
Holiday.
Chris
Yeah.
too. I was like,
well,
maybe Dan will like
yes.
it because he's close with Chris.
First of all, Erin Rempe, not all heroes wear capes. If you beat me, no one will be happier. If Sarah plays your movie and you get 2 points and you beat me, no one will be happier. I detest this movie. I will say this though. I'll tell you why I don't like it, but I also will say I still feel bad for a number of reasons. Um, Bill Abbott came on our podcast for a Patreon only episode where he agreed to rank his top 10 and bottom 5 movies. I couldn't believe it. I fundamentally couldn't believe that this guy was going to do this. And it turns out that episode is recorded like right around New Year's Day, probably like January 3rd. He probably knew he was gone and he finally decided I can complain about movies. And
Know that
then
he knew.
his-
I think
his-
that was a shock to everyone.
yeah, and it was behind a paywall. So you had to pay to get that episode, but that word got out in a hurry. And my feelings about Double Holiday were known well before I heard Bill's. But it doesn't look great, and I acknowledge that, and I hate that. His 2 least favorite movies, one was a Nina Weinman Swift joint, and one was a Julie Sherman Wolf joint.
Right.
Christmas in Montana.
Yeah.
Those were his 2 least favorite, and he went hard in the paint on those movies in a way that if I'm the boss of a network, I can't imagine going. The reason I didn't like Double Holiday is because it was very clear that the network didn't want to make a Jewish movie, and they knew they needed to make one, and so I think this movie is important. You might not know this, Nina. The best Hallmark movie ever made, in my opinion, is a Hanukkah movie called Round and Round. I think it's phenomenal. While I don't like Double Holiday because, and I'll walk through it real briefly. I know we've been here 100 hours, but I do think, and I want to give credit to the fact that that movie walked so Round and Round could run, and I do want to give credit to that. But you guys were in a phase where there was a few movies early on, like Hitched for the Holidays with Joey Lawrence. But basically, since Bill Abbott had taken over, the Hanukkah movies were non-existent. I mean, I don't want to try to make that, I'm just telling you, that's the case. And then when we finally get 2 of them, one of them is there's a story about Holiday Date that I heard off the record that I can't retell that's freaking wild about how little the Hallmark, let's just say that movie didn't get a lot of backing either. Let's just say that and nothing else. That was a weird screwball comedy with the same premise as Double Holiday, but screwball comedy, it does make it memorable, but was a choice. Nina's
It's
movie,
a
which
fake
is very,
relationship. It's a fake
Yes.
relationship movie. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Yeah.
I do enjoy the movie. I think Matt Cohen and Britt Bristow,
Yeah.
they clearly are having fun and they're playing with house money. And this movie, Chris is a dear friend. I talk to Chris maybe not every week, but maybe every 2 weeks. I love that guy. I've seen an early screening of the movie he directed. He wants my honest feedback and I give it. He was hurt and I did not like this movie. We have the classic, let me explain basic things about Christmas and Hanukkah to the other. And what I think happens there is that I don't think that's unrealistic. I think it ruins this thing that I want from Chris and Carly. I don't know if Chris is necessarily the right guy for this buzzing back and forth dialogue. He likes to dig into a character and take dramatic pauses. I just feel like the movie was against itself in a way that didn't seem right to me. It didn't feel like the Hanukkah movie I wanted to see because I'm not Jewish and I wanted a Hanukkah movie that was like one of these Christmas movies and maybe with 2 Jewish leads. Chris cared so much and he wanted it to be good so badly. He
I
really
think
did.
I will say this. So what we were juggling was how do we make a Hanukkah movie that also services Countdown to Christmas? I felt like we accomplished that. And I felt like Carly and Chris together were really sweet and really good. And as far as Hanukkah goes, I feel like I said what I wanted to say in an accessible way without being preachy. And that was what was really important to me about that. So we were sort of forging new ground as far as getting Hanukkah. Like you said, we walked so that Round and Round could run. We were really forging new ground
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
trying to
Totally
make
fair.
it very palatable and very accessible where it hadn't been quite welcome before.
Mm,
And
fair.
um, that movie was one that I really struggled with in my top 10 because I loved it a lot and it's close to my heart because I put some of my own family traditions in there, but it didn't make my top 10. And
Man,
I
so
love Carly and Chris so
I'm
much.
glad it's not number one now. So there's no pressure on Sarah Davis. Whatever she says next is going to be
There's-
number one on this list.
Sarah, before you say your number one, I know for a fact that my good friend Kate has thoughts on Double Holiday, and I want to hear them.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Here we go.
No.
The double holiday apologist.
Okay. I texted Lynn before this. I knew this particular episode of Hallmark Movie Drafts would go long because we had Nina to talk about all these movies, which has been incredible. Thank you, Nina, for coming. But I texted Lynn from the beginning. I said, there's only 2 movies I have prep stuff to say about, and one of them is Double Holiday. And it's because I'm on the record from the January 2023 Christopher Palaha draft saying that I'm not saying this because Nina's here. I said this on that podcast that this movie takes an overused Hallmark party planning trope and elevates it with genuinely good writing. Like the banter in this movie is unbelievable. I'm a Turner Classic Movies freak. I watch TCM all day long. This is His Girl Friday level incredible banter. Like, please, like, I'm here to thank you
This is
for
such high
writing this.
praise for
Yeah.
me. Like, I don't know what to do with this.
I'm here to thank you for writing this movie. I don't rewatch Hallmark movies that much. I watch all the new ones. This is one that I watch every holiday season. I not Jewish. I grew up Catholic. Dan, we could talk breakfast all day about
Yeah, I love
growing
it.
up Catholic, but we won't. I love this movie. The leads are incredible, but what I believe is the relationship progression. Like you did it so well. Like the enemies to lovers trope. Like I completely believe it with these two. You had great leads. The writing is so sharp. I love the reason I put the trivia question about the fancy suit guy. I love that whole side plot. There's some amazing supporting cast. The parents are just a couple Hallmark actors that you see all the time, but they are so good in this.
We
I
did a table
love it.
read. I was up in Ottawa and we did a table read with all her parents and sister and everybody. And I was like, I got to give them more to do because they were so amazing in that
Yes.
table read that I was like, I want more of you people. Her parents were like phenomenal.
No, I mean I love it. Thank you, Lynn, for I know we're
Okay,
going
that
so
makes
long
me
on this
feel so
episode.
good. See,
fine.
Dan.
Yeah, that's fair.
My
This is why you write them right here.
So two things. My goal is actually to keep Sarah up for 24 hours straight. We're almost there,
on
Sarah.
your way this week.
We're on our way. We're
So
on
what
our
is
way.
it, 11:20 for you? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Same.
And secondly, when I said at the top of the show that Kate is HMD's letterboxed guru. That's not what I said, but I said something like that. Um, Everyone should be following Kate on Letterboxd, not just HMDs, not just Hallmark drafts. It's Hallmark drafts on Letterboxd, not Hallmark movie drafts. But Everyone should be following Kate's Letterbox because Kate and I vibe a lot over classic movies, Hitchcock movies, real movies. Not that Hallmark movies aren't real movies, but Kate's dedication to her Letterboxd and watching every single, I think you're in the middle or towards the end of every single Hitchcock movie ever
Almost there,
made.
yeah.
I mean, she's got great filmographies that she's got posted up there, so well worth it. So when she gave you a shout out, Nina, about Double Holiday, it's like, wow. She
I
never says
really,
that
I
about
watch,
my movies.
I watch these Turner Classic Movies, and I think like what rom-coms have pulled from this, and Double Holiday, like His Girl Friday, I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sarah.
That
I
what
can't
what
even.
I said before is like you can't please all the people all the time, and you have to be okay with that. Like,
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
Kate loves it, Dan doesn't, and that's okay. Like, I'm not
Totally fine.
trying to please the entire world.
No.
They're not all gonna love it, but I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna do the best job that I can do, and I'm gonna touch as many people as I can, and that's got to be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well
Yeah, I get
said.
that.
Well said. All right, Sarah. Number
All
one.
right. This has
Oof.
been a struggle, but I am
Thank
going to play Annie Claus is Coming to Town.
Dear God,
Oh,
Thank you. Yay.
wow.
what? Annie Claus is coming to town?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
It's just that when you veto Haunted Wedding, man, what I don't know what you thought you were doing, but that wasn't
I can
smart.
tell you what I thought I was doing. It's her best movie by a mile. That's what I was doing. You should have played it at one.
Penny
Yeah, but then I
Claus.
would have given you a point, and this one was
Yeah,
it was higher on
clearly.
my list
Probably too
anyway.
close.
To be
Oh.
fair,
Okay.
Annie Claus was only an 8 on my list, but I will play it at 1. I had not seen that until today, and I was stunned at like how fun it was.
Is it?
My notes is that it was Rumspringa for Santa's daughter.
That's exactly how I pitched it. It's Rumspringa for Santa's daughter.
Yeah, she said it practically, and I was like, "Girl, all you have to do is put in there that you're going to go out and sleep with everybody, because that's how we're on our way." The other thing I had was that comparing it to A Carol for Two, I really liked the way this one portrayed a situation where she had this other guy trying to woo her,
Mhm.
but it had been set up so well that she was this like innocent who genuinely thought the best of everybody. So there were no red flags. Like she doesn't even know what a red flag is. So I believed that of that. Whereas in A Carol for Two, I wanted to hit her and just be like, slap out of it, girl. What's wrong with you? In this one, I was just like, darling child, you don't understand. The man's bad. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really sweet and cute and fun, and definitely not something that you'd see quite like that on the network for a long time. But I liked the whimsy of it. I liked the yeah, I liked it. It was great.
All right.
Aaron,
Lynn.
Lynn's done. Put a fork in
yeah,
her.
Lynn's done.
I actually had it at number 8 as well, Sarah. So I'm good with this. I thought I loved the beginning, especially when they were in the North Pole. It just had, I'm going to use Sarah's word, a lot of whimsy to it. I enjoyed all of it. I thought that she did a great job being a fish out of water. Sarah explained it perfectly. I also really love Sam Page. I'm a Sam Page fan.
Oh,
So loved seeing him.
what are we
Dan
doing?
loves him too.
Clearly,
Dan
Dan
loves
is
him.
not a
I
fan.
mean,
Dan
Lynn,
wants
right?
to marry him.
Yeah.
Lynn,
I was gonna
like
say
glue,
Vicki
glue your
Lawrence.
pages back
Having
together.
Vicki Lawrence in that one.
Right.
Was
I mean, do I think it should be number 1? Absolutely
No.
not. But we're here. And this is where we landed. So it was fun. It was different. I enjoyed seeing something from, your earlier days. And I thought the main character did a really good job as Annie. So
When I vetoed Haunted Wedding, I knew mathematically my only chance to win in my head. I could be wrong. My only chance to win was to get it at 1 and get the 2 points at 1. I also adore that movie, and I think it's one of the best pure comedies Hallmark's ever made. Erica Tovley, the idea of the ghost being in the totem, it's all perfect. I love it. I don't get to talk about it. I just want to say that right now. I also knew that was a long shot. But I also knew that Erin, she played it at 2. She probably had it at 2, wherever she was. And so take away her 2 points. Maybe Sarah plays it at 1. And because it deserves to be at 1. It is, in my opinion, in a class by itself. It is that good of a movie. And I think Just One Kiss is just right below it. But I think Haunted Wedding's your best movie, and I think it's wonderful. Annie Claus sucks. This
Tell
here's
us what
my
you really think, Dan.
but I will say it's better than Double Holiday. I got the feeling when Double Holiday was won that I was not gonna get what I wanted, and that's fine. I didn't think I was anyway. But you gotta, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Here's the thing: is I've met Alicia Witt. She's lovely. There's a horror movie that came out last year, I believe, called Long Legs with Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage. That movie's phenomenal. It's so good with space and with a very specific performative twist. And Alicia Witt is unbelievable in that movie. Typically in Hallmark, I just feel like I feel like it just isn't a vibe that ever works for me. Even like the Very Merry Mix-Up, which I think is like
But
ended up
she's
as
not in this movie.
She's not in this
Annie
movie.
Claus.
I
Annie-
know.
Backyard Wedding.
I know.
Oh my
It
God.
looks like her,
The
but it's
Backyard
not her.
Wedding.
Tell me, Annie Claus is not
is-
Alicia Witt.
No,
No.
it's
Who
Maria
is it?
Thayer.
Maria
Maria
Thayer.
Thayer.
So I saw this movie for Deck the Hallmark, and I know what I said about it when we watched it. And so I did not rewatch it. And I've literally, if you had asked me before this draft came up, I would have told you it was Alicia Witt.
No,
No,
I
Maria
know.
Thayer, also a redhead.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, in that
Sam
case,
Page, Vivica A. Fox.
I did typically forget it probably because of one Sam Page. That didn't help either.
Okay.
I-
So listeners,
this movie,
Adorable.
this
You
movie
like
clearly
that?
wasn't for me. That I've got nothing else.
That was my
like,
second movie ever.
wow.
Yeah,
Second ever.
it was adorable. I loved it.
I can only typically Hallmark movie drafts is once a month for very good reasons. But
Lynn needs
sometimes
to recover.
Yeah, exactly. I need therapy. Sometimes it's I can do 2 a month. It really all depends. And Dan, my friend Dan, knows how much I love my boy, my Princeton boy, Sam
Yeah.
Page.
Yep.
He does not like Sam Page with every fiber of his being, even though
He's
Sam
yet-
Page was amazing on Mad Men.
He was
I'm
amazing on Mad Men. That's true. I've never liked a single Hallmark movie he's in, and
No.
that's not always his fault.
Remember him
And-
on Mad Men. Who did he play on Mad Men?
Oh, a bad guy. He's great.
I remember it. I watched that.
He's a
Christina
bad guy.
Hendricks' ex-husband.
Yeah, the ex-husband.
Okay.
But Dan agreed. I had messaged Dan, I don't know, like last year sometime. And I was like, you know what? We should just do a little mono draft, just you and me. Let's draft Sam Page's movies. He's like, yeah, let's do it. It's like
Absolutely.
all
I'm
you have
here
to do
for it.
is just say, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
Yeah.
I love this movie.
We got to think about what one is. I don't know.
No,
Not
no, that's easy.
that this
That's
movie
easy.
even made the top 10, let
Is
alone
absurd.
number one, is shocking to me. Like
yeah.
nowhere on my radar. But again, it is like literally, I want to say I was pregnant when I visited the set. I was pregnant with my 13-year-old who is in the other room right now. Like it was so long ago, like it was a whole other lifetime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
I like
when I missed the lunch the other week. I was going to share this then, but at Bramblefest, Jen Bliss totally surprised me. I screamed, and I am not a fangirl in any way, shape, or form. I used to work with a lot of celebrities in my previous life, so it's just not in my nature. And I would never really go to a fan event because it's not really what gets me going. And Jen Bliss handed me a photo of Sam Page that she got at Christmas Con that's endorsed to me.
That's great.
And I literally screamed louder than the fire alarm that went
Aw.
off, right? It was
That's
so
great.
great. And my husband's like, who is this guy? Why is he in our bedroom? That's my Sam Page After Dark stories. All right,
I
guys.
love it.
Excellent
My
list.
husband met Sam Page on set of that movie and would still have no idea who he is.
That's great.
I love him.
love
He's
it.
my Princeton boy. I make no regrets. First of all, Nina, we are almost done, baby. We are not done
Oh my
yet.
gosh, this is amazing. This has been so fun. I drank
done
almost a
yet.
whole, well, I drank like a half a bottle of wine, but
We're almost
I
done,
don't
not
drink
done
that
yet.
much, so 2 glasses of wine and I'm like, woo. So
This is where
So
you,
fun.
Kate, and I get to reveal our top 10 list, and then Kate's going to tell us how we scored against each other and which one of us wins the side hustle. Why don't you go first? Tell everybody your top 10 list, starting with number 10, please.
okay.
Mhm.
Number 10, Coming Home for Christmas. Didn't ever make the cut.
No.
Number 9, Destination Wedding. Also did not make the cut. Number 8, Love at First Dance. Number 7, Flip That Romance. Number 6, Pumpkin Pie Wars. Number 5, Stop the Wedding. Number 4, Catch Me If You Claus. Number 3, Just One Kiss. Number 2, Haunted Wedding.
Yeah.
Number 1, Last Bridesmaid.
Quality list.
What
Quality
a great list.
Yep.
Great list.
Yeah.
Quality
Now,
list.
I'm surprised that Pumpkin Pie Wars is a movie that people still talk to me about. I'm surprised that nobody drafted that on their list. And the other one that I was surprised didn't make, Destination Wedding. That was one of the first movies. We shot it in Mexico, in Acapulco. It was one of the first movies that they actually shot the whole movie internationally.
Wow.
That's cool.
Is that
Man.
the Penavega? Is that a Penavega?
It's Alexa Penavega and
Yeah.
Jeremy Gilbo. Paula Shaw played my grandmother in that one.
Yep.
Andrea Brooks, Preston Vanderslice, and Andrew. Oh my God, I'm totally spit. Like all these like supporting actors who are in 100,000 movies. Why am I blanking on?
I don't have a note on here. I just got Alexa down.
Carlos was there too and had to have extra security because there was a cheerleading convention. We were at this resort called the Princess Resort in Acapulco. They did not let us leave the resort because Acapulco is the murder capital of the world.
Oh, cool.
They did
Awesome.
not let us
Lovely.
leave the resort. Everything happened on the resort. Even this one scene where they go to this like outdoor market, they built it on the premises. Like nobody left. And there was a cheerleading convention of all these girls in Mexico at the resort, and they all knew who Carlos was. And he had to have extra. He was there with their son Ocean, who's their first child of 3, and he was about 5 months old at the time.
Wow.
And he had to have extra security because all these little cheerleaders were like following him around.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
That's
But
wild.
that was my first Paula
Mhm.
Shaw was my grandmother.
I love it.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
But also Stop the Wedding was my first Rachel Boston. It's where I met her, and my
Yeah.
first Niall Mater, which is where I met him, and it was his very first Hallmark movie ever.
Where he comfortably plays a surgeon to Rachel Boston's divorce attorney.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Alan Thicke was
Hey, Stop the Wedding's on my list.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear. Alan Thicke, guys,
Alan
doing the
Thicke
salsa.
alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'll
Alan
tell
What are
you a
we
funny
doing?
story that Niall and I just talked about when I saw him a couple weeks ago, because I'm not maybe or maybe not doing a movie with him right now.
No, of
but,
course. Yeah.
we were talking about the movie was really, the two of them are so snappy and so quick with the banter and the dialogue that the movie actually came in short time-wise. We
Oh.
always have stuff we have to cut, came in short. And they were like, we need to add a scene. There was one day that was kind of thin. It was Niall and Alan Thicke. So I wrote a scene in an hour for them to shoot a little bit later that day. was a father-son scene, ended up being one of my very favorite scenes in the entire movie. And Niall said the same thing. He and Alan just like really bonded over that. It
That's
was
cool.
like a really special scene. So
I can't believe it's not on the list.
Yeah.
those are the moments. That's why it makes my list, because it was a
Yeah.
special experience. So okay, I
Yeah,
want
absolutely. Absolutely. All right,
that was
Kate,
mine.
your top 10.
Okay, so I have number 10 in Nashville Legacy did not come up. It's a really beautiful movie, Nina. Love it.
I was so blown away by that movie, and I just want to say, I'm not going to comment on everything, but I just want to say with that one, sometimes you'll write a movie and it's about like a music group. And I have a movie that shall not be named, but it was like this a cappella group that was supposed to be like pentatonics. It was supposed to be, and it was look like a like eighth grade like show that you go see your eighth grader perform. That one, when they did this music group that was supposed to be this huge hit in like the 1950s,
Yeah.
it was so brilliantly done. The song sounded like a hit.
That's why I love it.
Sometimes it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and sometimes it does. And Nashville Legacy, I thought was so brilliantly done, and it worked.
I loved that, like the Daffodils, the like the 1960s like Motown girl group. I loved it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going so long. Okay, Stop the Wedding was number 9. I'm glad we talked about it a little bit. Number 8, Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater did not come up.
I love that one.
Maybe
That was a
not
book I
Ooh.
adapted, but that brought Ashley into my life, and Ashley and I have a movie for 20.
Oh,
Love it. I think I'm partial to that because 2020, it was one of those 2020 movies that just like we were all stuck inside and it was great. 7, Playing Cupid didn't come up. 6, Napa Ever After. I'm a sucker for the vineyard movies.
For wine.
I just saw Dan's eyes go real big when I said that.
Boy, howdy.
5, Haunted Wedding.
Dan's in a fever dream at this point.
I mean, listen, I knew it was a bold move. It is what it is. Annie Claus is number 1 on this list. I don't know what to tell you. We all should be in a fever dream.
Yes, my 5 is Haunted
At this
Wedding,
point,
and when Dan
Never
said
thought
it,
how I thought this was going to shake out, but
So you did have Haunted Wedding top 5, Kate, you said?
Yes, number 5, Haunted Wedding. I was shocked when you vetoed it. I don't know what you thought you were doing there, but
thought it was going number 1.
Yeah.
Let's wait till the math shakes out. I bet you that's the only way I would have won.
I'm keeping track here. So okay.
Okay,
anyway.
maybe not.
Number 4, Pumpkin Pie Wars, which is the one that
Nobody drafted it. I
yeah,
was
Lynn
shocked.
mentioned. Maybe before we got on the Zoom, but it's on me, Lynn, and Nina's list, and it's not on any of the drafters' lists.
Shocking.
That's
Shocking.
back and-
I should have pulled the plug right then.
There's a back and forth in that movie where somebody's like, "You're going to do all this for some pumpkin pie contest," and this woman goes, "It's not some pumpkin pie contest. It's the pumpkin pie contest." And at that point, I was like, I don't know. I will say this: the kiss at the end, really good kiss. Chemistry in that movie is really good.
Yeah,
I just
chemistry.
never. I was so out on the pumpkin pie of it all.
But I also really liked that the misunderstanding lasted for 0.2 seconds, and the sister
Yeah, that
was
was
like,
nice.
"Talk to him, That was the other thing we were talking about. Nina movies, like your movies, generally avoid the let's let the misunderstanding go on for days and days, and he walks away. It's like, no, we're gonna cut this short. You go talk to this person and air out your grievances. And I love
one or
that.
2 of those, but yeah, I try not to go there because it's ridiculous. But
Yeah. So I appreciate that. I see you.
Thank you. I see you.
As Dan said at the beginning, the consensus of the Nina movies, like you have reached so many different Hallmark viewers. Like my top 3 are like, I think everyone agrees upon except for Double Holiday. When I first saw this list of 34, I'm like, how are we going to do this? Because there's so many different like people that we reach, like from watching these movies. There's so many different like Hallmark genres that are like touched upon. Anyway, my top 3, Just One Kiss, number 3, Double Holiday, number 2. Thank you, Sarah, for trying to put it at number 1.
Right.
And my number 1 is Catch Me If You Claus.
Great
Boy.
list, Kate. That is a great list. All right, here we go. This is the perfect Nina Weinman list.
Okay, all right.
Nina,
Why did we show up?
we didn't need these.
Could have been
3,
an
Nina.
email.
Could have just been you and me and an email. Could have Dan. Okay.
Almost 4
That
hours.
wins.
Yeah, we're at it.
Okay.
This is a record, people. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Number 10, Backyard Wedding. Number 9, Love at First Dance. Number 8, Just One Kiss. Number 7, Stop the Wedding. Number 6, Flip That Romance. Number 5, Catch Me If You Claus. Number 4, Pumpkin Pie Wars. This was ranked number 7. This is an annual watch. They show this movie all the time. This was ranked number 7 on the Fall Feels draft by my friend and yours, Daniel Pandoff, aka Panda.
The guy that
Big
didn't
on
know
the
the,
Fall
the moms
Feels.
were dead in Just One
And
Kiss.
neither
Yeah.
did I until the end. All right, where was I? Pumpkin Pie Wars, number 3, Haunted Wedding.
Come on.
Crime. It is not on this list. Number 2, The Last Bridesmaid. And number 1, it could only be I Married Who?
Who?
Who knew?
Oh
That
my!
is
I
worse
gotta
than Annie
say, when
Claus
they
at number
told me
1.
the new title, I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just would
it
like
was
to go
called Always a
down.
Bride. It was
Yeah.
called Always a Bride, and I was like, I married who?
Yeah.
Yeah, my 2 Austin absolutes were Stop the Wedding and
make
The
it.
Last Bridesmaid. Those are the 2 Austin absolutes.
I got you.
Kate,
Interesting.
how'd we do? How did you and Nina and I score?
Okay, so I lost for sure. I only got 2. I got Catch Me If You Claus and Just One Kiss. Lynn, you got 5, and Nina, you got 5. So
Wow. Good work.
We're tied.
Is
This
that
is
good?
great.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's like
It's good.
historically, what's
Yeah.
good?
That's
It depends on the
pretty good.
list.
It
Yeah.
really depends on the list. And this final top 10
This is
list
all
is
over the place. Like I would
It's
never
funky.
crazy.
have guessed some of these would ever like Two for the Win would never have been on my radar. Annie Claus would never have been. Okay. Anyway.
When you hear what their individual top 10 lists are in just a second,
All right.
you're going to
I'm
understand
excited to
how we got here. And they are all to blame. This
Fair.
was a collaboration
I
and a
blame no one.
competition.
Listen,
No,
I watch all my movies. People are watching my movies. I blame nobody for anything.
I
good.
had the feeling that this was going to be no consensus, that there would be no consensus 1 to 10 on anything because Nina Weinman does such a good job writing these movies that where we don't just get to go, there's 2 good ones and the rest of them we're trying to make. This is a legitimate, everyone's got a fave. So Nina, you've done a great job.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to go in veto order. So Erin, you go first. 10 to 1, please.
Okay. Yeah, this was the hardest list I've ever had to put together. I told Lynn and Kate
Same.
earlier today, I was like, I am so nervous for this because it was so difficult. All right, so 10 was Flip That Romance, 9, Love at First Dance, 8, Annie Claus is Coming to Town, 7, Two for the Win, 6, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, 5, A Carol for Two, 4, Just One Kiss, 3, Catch Me If You Claus, 2, Haunted Wedding, and my number 1 was Debbie McCall, A Mrs. Miracle Christmas, because of what we talked about earlier, and that's kind of why my list was all like adjusted down 1 for I think what Dan's was, because I felt so strongly that that needed to be my personal
Fair.
number 1. So
Fair.
There you go. Those are 10. All right, Dan, what's your top 10?
Number 10, Lucky in Love. Number 9, Stop the Wedding. Alan Thicke doing this also alone. Guys, get with it. This movie is, I mean, and I just, the idea of Rachel Boston being a divorce attorney, she's so sweet in real life. I couldn't imagine it. Niall Mater being a surgeon. He like worked on an oil rig, but it's so hysterical that I chose that over The Last Bridesmaid. And I guess regret it now, even though I do think this is a better movie. 8, Two for the Win, 7, Mrs. Miracle Christmas, 6, Operation Christmas, a movie that is so cheesy and is about a troop homecoming, but barbershop quartet, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, fun reveal with the screen, really, really good reveal. There's some stuff to really recommend about this movie, and Trisha Helfer, like Mark Blucas is uniformly great. Trisha Helfer really good in this movie. And the young boy that's a kid in this movie, most kid actors are just they're getting who they can get. He's adorable and his line delivery is unbelievable. I'm personally shocked this is the first mention of that movie. I thought I put it higher on this list than I would have in my personal because I thought people were all going to bring it up and rave about it. This was my first viewing. I was way off there. 5, I Married Who. I didn't have it at 3, but I did have it at 5. These top 4 movies all deserve to be on this list, in my opinion, in this order. 4, A Careful 2, 3, Catch Me If You Claus, 2, Just One Kiss, 1, A Haunted Wedding. The best character actor on Hallmark is Erica Tovley, in my opinion. Janelle Parrish, all of a sudden, they're letting her just absolutely cook. And she is so good in this movie. And the plot devices and how they deal with ghosts, it's so funny. That was my list.
That's his list. All right, and
So,
now we're going to hear
Can
from
we talk
Sarah.
Haunted Wedding
Oh
for
yeah,
Yeah.
1 second?
sure.
Because we haven't really talked about that. And I can't believe that one it never made it, right?
Well, yeah, I thought I needed it at
I
one
thought
to
you were gonna
win.
make it. No, you tried to make it number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one was gonna be everyone's like.
that's one for me.
Okay,
No
I'll let
question.
Sarah do hers, and then
Yeah.
then we'll discuss.
Okay.
You're going to find out why. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, it's true. I had 10 for a haunted wedding.
God almighty.
Wow.
Well, mostly because I found some of the characters annoying, and so I was like, yeah.
This is crazy.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Love
Whenever you're
you.
ready.
I had 10 Operation Christmas. 9 was
Nashville Legacy.
8 was Annie Claus is Coming to Town. 7 was Double Holiday. 6 was Lucky in Love. 5 was The Last Bridesmaid. 4 was Stop the Wedding. 3 was Just One Kiss. 2, Catch Me If You Claus. And number 1 was Flip That Romance. Because I love that movie.
What is not on Sarah's list, people?
Haunted Wedding.
Haunted Wedding. Can I
What?
tell you when I decided I was going to veto Haunted Wedding? Is when she said it, you nodded. You went, yep. You nodded and you went to your list to write it down. And I was like, she has it on her list. What could possibly be higher that she will play? My chances, it stands to reason my chances are high that it's in that top 4. And then if Carol for 2 is Erin's replacement, which it was, I was like, I think I'm going to do it. I think
I know. And
in
then
my opinion, I need to get to 10. That's what I need to
know.
do every week. And if I got 2 there, I was going to get to 10, and 10 wins almost always. And I was like, that's how I do it. And I saw you nod, and I'm like, and you just got me because you didn't like it. It wasn't even on your list.
I forgot to tell you Sarah's nickname. It's Sarah Headfake Davis.
Head fake Davis. That's
Well,
right.
it was mostly that when you did that, I was like, oh, he had it and he wants me to play 1. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to. What
That's
am
fair.
what do I know is not going to get him any points?
That's fair.
Double
Fair.
Holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, after hearing this, I was doing quick counting. I think I still won or tied. Like I think Erin and I tied for the win. And
You
what
and
means is-
Erin were battling it out. So, Kate, tell everybody what happened here.
The Agent of Chaos, Sarah, came in 3rd place with 7 points. And I'll just go straight to 1st place. Erin, congratulations. You got 10 points.
oh wow, I
And
miscounted.
You got 10?
Dan got 8.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Wow. Good
I must have
job, you
miscounted
guys.
somewhere along the way.
Good job, you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for doing this. We
That was
are
so great.
That was
8
wonderful.
minutes
This
below
was
a 4
totally
hour mark.
nuts and like the most fun
Yeah.
I've had in such a long time. Like going through my whole career, like what a blast.
That's fun.
We had such a blast with you. You were such a good sport. Loved all the stories and the inside scoops. As I mentioned at the top of the show, putting together a Tracy Ann Dream draft. I haven't reached out to her yet, but it's on the schedule for next year. So once she's done, you and Julie and Tracy can come back. We'll do a draft. You guys are actually the panelists, and I think it'll
Oh,
be
we would absolutely do that.
a lot of
That's
fun
perfect.
drafting author or lead writer character movies. So
Yeah.
listeners, be sure to follow Hallmark Movie Drafts wherever you get your pods. It's free and it's available everywhere. Subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Meet up with us on our Instagram. If you love HMD, please share and recommend our podcast and socials to your friends. We love hearing what your top 10 would have been or your number 1. Take a moment to leave a review on Apple and Spotify. It truly helps other Hallmark fans find the show. Coming up in September, oh my God, it's HMD's 4th anniversary. It's a Cedar Cove lead cast members draft. So the Hallmark movies are ones that the lead cast members have starred in. So it's Hall stars like Dylan Neal, Brennan Elliott, Colin Ferguson, Cindy Busby, Corey Sevier, so many. It's 73
Good
eligible movies
gosh.
right now. And the panelists are Stephanie, Yumi, and Jackie. They are slugging their way through this watch list, and it's coming up in a matter of weeks. We're actually recording it September 7th. So once more, for the final time, here's the definitive list of the 10 best Hallmark movies written by Nina Weinman, as drafted by Dan, Sarah, and Erin. Here we go. At 10, Two for the Win. At 9, Flip That Romance. At 8, Lucky in Love. At 7, Debbie Maycomer's A Mrs. Miracle Christmas. At 6, Love at First Dance. At 5, The Last Bridesmaid. At 4, Just One Kiss. At 3, Catch Me If You Claus. At 2, A Carol for Two. And at number 1, Annie Claus is coming to town. Great job, everybody. Let's all say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Sam Page movie number 1. Yeah. Hallmark Movie Drafts is a monthly production. Stephanie Purcell creates the movie synopses using descriptions from IMDb or Hallmark.com as a base. Kate Bacca vets the list of eligible movies and manages our Letterboxd account called Hallmark Drafts, where you'll find the list of eligible movies for each show, as well as the final top 10 lists and the panelists who drafted them. Erin Beth Cermak creates the trivia round questions, and along with Stephanie and Kate, provides additional creative, research, and hosting support. I'm Lynn Austin. I'm the showrunner, producer, and host. I staff the panels, create the show topics, manage the production schedule and the HMD socials, and edit and publish the podcast. Intro and outro music is provided courtesy of Amato Zapana. Thank you to the Deck the Hallmark double-deckers who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much.